MR.KOA. We need to talk.
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 Welcome back to number.
This nigga's washed.
It'll be a long day. Welcome back to WNTT Talk. Episode number 60. I'm your host, Mr. KOA, alongside
Top boy.
Christopher.
Yes, sir.
Burgess. Chris is one of our early guests and good friends of both me and Z.
He's on episode 4.
Episode 4.
Early days.
Episode 4. We are episode 60.
We were talking about how different things were back then.
3 venue changes.
3 venue changes, yes.
2 girlfriend changes.
Pretty much. There was a New York trip. There was
Vancouver trip.
Both
y'all flew out and wifed up.
Oh shit, he was there for that too.
Girl, Chris is a fly on the wall.
Hey man, I am.
Chris has witnessed all of it.
Chris has actually seen it all happen.
I'm behind the scenes.
So what are your thoughts, Chris? What are your thoughts about the evolution of this podcast, about us since literally 2017?
Y'all been watching you guys grow literally, like you said, like a fly on the wall, and it's impressive. It's inspiring, especially to your audience. In all honesty, with through job changes with both you guys too.
Yeah.
Like watching you guys work, watching you guys go from having an idea, putting an idea on paper, putting an idea on the wall, and then actually making that idea turn into something real.
Yeah.
Building a following, building a genuine following, not something fake. Being who you guys are on camera and then just in person. It's amazing. You're talking about finessing life. Sometimes you just gotta finesse life. That's what you guys are doing. So it's cool. It's cool to watch. Like as your friend, it's amazing to watch and amazing to support. In all honesty, I don't know if I told you guys that up front, but real shit.
Thank you, bro. Yeah. Speaking of finessing, since we're gonna talk about finessing,
Jussie!
This guy,
Jussie Smollett.
Not only the clown of the year, but the clown of our decade.
When I do the video for this, I'm gonna put pictures and shit because it
honestly does I can't think of anything there's been some bullshit since social media has exposed things since social media has become more popular and everything's online. There's been some bullshit we've seen over the years, but in the last 10 years of my life, I can't think of anything worse than this.
There's so many.
To the point that when I saw this come out, I was like, hold on a second. So this is all fake? You could even comprehend the mindset to do this. You have to be a psychopath.
Okay, you gotta go back and explain it because you might have people who don't know what.
All right, we're definitely explaining.
Okay, so basically,
get it.
Basically,
who is this guy?
Who is Jussie?
If anyone
watch Empire,
if anyone watched Empire, Jussie Smollett was the actor who played the gay son on the show,
right, who
Terrence Howard threw in the fucking trash can when he was a child. That's who we're talking about. And he, in real life, is also gay. And apparently, I'm just going to read this article real quick. Jussie Smollett, actually, before I read what happened, he came out and said that he was attacked by 2 MAGA supporters that beat him up because he was gay and black. Heard a bunch of slurs at him. So naturally, when this story comes out, everyone was like, what the fuck? This is crazy.
Terrible.
This is nuts.
Also, I heard that he was in the midst of possibly getting fired
from Empire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
interesting. Because, well, yeah, we'll get to it. I didn't know that he was in the midst of getting fired.
Yeah, they were getting ready to write him out of the script. Apparently,
in his mind, this was his play to save himself. Which I'm like, so you think if I'm gonna take you out of the script and fire you? You think you get beat up is gonna make me keep you?
Yo, because he was trying to play the victim role, saying how can you go fire a man who is a minority in all the sense. You're gay.
Listen,
you're a visible minority, and now we're getting ready.
I got you, because Chris, listen, if I'm about to fire you, and I find out you got beat up, listen, when you get out of the hospital and get your stuff, cold-blooded. What? Yo, listen, Chris, I feel sorry for you. I heard what happened, but come pack your things when you're healed.
Right. If it was a regular 9 to 5, 100%, I'm with you. The problem is they're in this industry where they're like, okay, first,
image and all that. You can't fire a man right after that.
It's not just the fact that you can't. Okay, if it was me that got beat up, like a straight dude that got beat up, I don't think they would have cared. But because it's in that industry, the gay community might have had something to say about it. It just would have looked bad from a PR perspective.
Even in a regular 9 to 5, say you just had a death in your family and you come back to work And they were planning on firing you. You come back to work after you just have a death in your family. You think they're gonna hand you your papers and be like,
they're probably delaying it a little bit.
Yeah, like, come on, because then you're on suicide watch at that point.
That's true.
Your whole life is uprooted. So like, that was his play.
Wow.
Basically, what ended up really happening is Jussie Smollett paid two brothers $3,500, which doesn't even seem like a lot to me. When you really think about the work we've done, I'm like, you have to pay me a lot more to do this.
I mean, you gotta remember these guys. If cash isn't a big thing to them, they're like $3,000.
Yo, wasn't one of them like one of his boyfriends or something?
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay,
but
maybe I'm
he's known them though.
Yeah, but he paid them $3,500 to stage an attack on him last month, taking advantage of pain and anger of racism to promote his career, according to the Chicago police. And at the time, when this incident happened, everyone was just like, "How do we know like this is factual? Like, did it actually happen?" All this stuff. And the cops are saying that they didn't have the total package to support that it was a hoax, right? Like they couldn't really tell. Yeah. This investigation didn't turn in the direction of Mr. Smollett being a defendant until like the final hour of everything that happened. And then he ended up being arrested over this, right? Which is pretty interesting, like quick turn of events. But the thing that doesn't make sense to me is he hired these two guys to have it supported like it was a MAGA thing, right? Yeah. So why did he hire like the two biggest niggas in the world to beat him up? Does that make sense to you? Like they were two huge Nigerian dudes, and they were supposed to be like a MAGA thing.
That's because it was people he knew. It was just like, yo, he staged a crime.
No, but
so he hired.
So he staged a crime without any witnesses.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no like it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
He basically.
Did you see the video from the store? Of them buying all that stuff?
Was it all three of them in the store? Or was it just those two?
Just the two of them.
Two guys.
So they purchased the stuff.
Yeah.
But nothing actually existed. Nothing actually happened. He's just like, I need you guys to get these things so that it seems believable when the story does come out. Like maybe I'm not sure how he did it, but he might have left some stuff on the scene.
They're just gonna leave a MAGA hat on scene?
He probably lied to him. This is probably all his idea. He was like directed and producing this whole thing.
This is crazy. He's
like, it's like me coming up to you guys saying, guys, I'm doing this new role and I gotta get into the mind frame for it. So help me prepare for this. Help me prepare for this role. Can you go pick up some MAGA hats, some rope, some black masks, some black gloves, and pretend to kidnap me on the street? Thanks, man.
So okay, it says here that Smollett texted one of the brothers, his friend, on January 25th and said, "Might need your help on the low. You're on to talk face to face." After laying out the plan and rehearsing it on the low, prosecutors says Smollett then gave his friend and his brother a $100 bill to buy clothing and rope for a noose, prosecutors allege. He also instructed them not to bring their mobile phones to the attack, according to prosecutors. The statement released on Thursday night on behalf of the actor said that the bail hearing was an organized law enforcement spectacle that has no place in the American legal system. So the judge set the bail at $100,000 for this guy to be released, which is hilarious.
You know what that sounds like? Him telling them, like, don't bring your phones, don't do this.
Yeah.
You know, like back when you used to get asked for those like multi-level marketing schemes.
Oh, yeah.
Come, I got this interview. I'm making money. Come to this interview. I can't tell you anything about the product or anything about the business.
The thing is, they always say they can't tell you. Like, I gotta show you.
I gotta be face to face.
Can you just come? No, it has to be. It has to show you.
Trust me.
It's one of those things you gotta be.
You gotta be there in person. That's what that sounds like.
We've all got for that. But okay, the thing that's crazy. Like, this story's already crazy. It's one thing. Like, I'll let this stand alone as being crazy. Like, the idea is crazy. Fine. And you know what? I would be like. I'm not saying I'd be on the side. I'm not saying I'd rate it. But what I'm saying is I would understand this story that he did or this spectacle that he performed if he literally kept this as just a story, a word of mouth thing. Yo, this happened to me, blah blah, and it just got out.
Yeah.
But he went even further
on a press tour.
to go on a press tour.
Yeah.
To sit in front of people in live television, in live interviews, have people interview them like genuinely concerned, like, so tell me what happened. Bust out the tears and napkin and tissue, wiping the snot, all that, and crying. And it's like, you're really in this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's not that just like, yeah, someone's like, yo, what happened? You're like, yeah, just some shit happened. Like, you really would like, nah, I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna pull the tears out.
You think?
I'm gonna do this.
Do you think he thought it was gonna get this far, like this deep?
Like,
I think
he planned for it to blow up this big.
I don't think he. I think he anticipated.
You
it.
think he anticipated?
Yeah, he had to because
you know how big you are. You know, like it's not just me doing this.
But is he that big? I guess so. Yeah, I guess.
I'm saying you're not a little. You're not just some guy in the street from Chicago who got beat up. With a little story in the tabloid. It's gone.
Fair enough.
Like you're on Empire. It's gonna be Empire guy gets beat. Like
you
know that's the tabloid.
And it's a racial thing. And you're black. Political thing.
You're black. You're gay. You're on Empire.
Right.
You know it's gonna get pulled.
Damn.
This whole thing's crazy. Like I'm reading a story about it. And it says the cops actually found the guys because like the camera footage,
in the store.
The camera they found after, the way they actually found these guys was at customs. So why? So it says here, the attack that took place was staged. The brothers punched Smollett a little wearing gloves. As far as we can tell, the scratching and bruising that you saw on his face were most likely self-inflicted. So he like scratched his own face to do all this shit. But it says right here, police initially treated the attack as a hate crime and were able to track down the men in part through cabs and ride shares that they took after the attack, which is wild. Like when you think about they think about like how much they can track you doing this shit. And when they tracked, they found out the guys were in Nigeria by the time everything was done. And then what happened is investigators met the brothers.
They
cut town. And then the investigators met the brothers at customs when they returned back to the country.
Oh, they tried to dip for a couple days.
Right? Phone records indicate Smollett talked to the brothers about an hour before the alleged attacks and an hour afterward and after they had left the country.
Yeah, you guys back? Nothing yet?
We need the rest of the money.
Wow.
That's fucked, right? So this is a funny thing. What also happened during this time period? You see this photo here?
Yeah, mugshot.
This is a mugshot, right? You know who also got arrested this week?
Who?
R. Kelly.
Oh, he turned himself in.
Turned himself in Chicago.
Oh, he turned himself in?
Yeah.
And this is the funny part. I'll put a photo up in the video for this.
Hold on. What did he turn himself in?
Because Chicago PD put 10 charges on him, right?
10 sexual assault charges.
Wow.
So this is the hilarious thing.
Same wall?
It's the same place.
It's the same place?
Is that the same wall?
It's the same place.
Oh, man.
You can tell because of that.
That's stupid.
Oh, my God.
What a crazy week. Eh?
The brick.
Oh, my God.
They both got caught this week.
Wow.
Jesus
But that's
Christ.
wild. Like,
Justice for Jesse.
this is like peak.
But he had the justice.
Oh, my God.
Like,
This is like,
Yo, this is terrible.
this is peak karma. Like, I don't know what you would...
He makes zero sense. I don't know what would possess him as to even think to try to do something like that. That's what I'm trying to understand.
so now do we chop this up to mental illness?
No.
You know
Why?
what?
Why?
It's like...
Genuine question. Why?
What?
Nah, this is like narcissism. It's like...
What is the mentally ill thing about it?
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying
okay.
there's definitely
gonna
gonna
say
be,
that's mental
there's
illness.
definitely gonna be a portion of people who spin this
Man.
to say he's a victim.
We've seen this before.
He obviously has mental illness. He's obviously going through something.
We've seen this
You
before,
know
though.
that's an argument. You know it's going to be an argument.
That's a dumb argument.
No,
That's
but-
what that is. A
No.
stupid argument.
And you know that's probably what his lawyer's gonna argue.
We've seen this
He was
before.
going through
Remember?
stuff. He was
His lawyer ain't gonna win. I watched enough Law and Order. His lawyer ain't gonna win.
We've seen this before. You know who did this? Ryan Lochte. You remember that?
Oh yeah, at the Olympics when
Ryan Lochte,
that's
the
right.
Olympic swimmer for the States. He literally did the same thing, except this happened in another country.
Fake a fight.
It was
Fake
in
the
Brazil.
brawl.
It was in Brazil. They
They trashed a store in Brazil, or like a convenience store. Like got hammered because I would be at the Olympics. Got hammered, trashed the store in Brazil, and then trying to blame it on that they got attacked.
They got
Tried
jumped.
to steal their gold medals.
Yeah.
It was them.
And it was them who started the entire thing, trashed the store and all that.
And what happened to him is, I think like he lost his right to participate like the following Olympics.
I don't know about that.
And maybe some sponsors too. Like these are all things that were gonna happen,
Yeah.
but he didn't receive like any criminal charges from that.
They just kind of let
Let him fly. Like the actual American worked to make sure that he didn't receive any charges in Brazil.
Yeah, but
because in Brazil, like if you could, that's how it works. Like if you're a citizen of one country and you commit a crime in another country, like
they won't extradite you.
Actually, you're pretty much fucked.
Yeah.
Like if you can't get the right help.
Right.
If the embassy won't help
they'll
you,
keep you.
they'll keep you. Like you're screwed. Like you never want to commit a crime in somewhere like China. Right?
But the thing that's different about this slightly is that he actually filed a police report.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he file the police report? Right. Yeah.
No, fucked you are.
Yeah.
Like, what is like?
Yeah.
Just leave it as this happened.
Yeah.
You filed. You wrote an official document saying I was beaten up this day, this blah blah blah, and signed.
That's
like,
that's like the narcissistic.
You gotta be sick. Yeah,
you came to our office and filed.
Yeah. This guy is sick, man.
Are you
He's
serious?
a sick
I don't
individual.
think it's like a sick individual thing. I just think, I mean, maybe someone who is a narcissist is sick, but I think like that's like sociopathic, like kind of because here's the thing, he could have not filed this police report, and if the story got big enough, the police might have looked into
They would
it.
have caught onto it.
They'd have been like, we're gonna look into this.
But it wouldn't be a crime anymore. That's the thing. It would have just been like, you just did some stupid shit and you lied about this.
Right.
Like now it's a crime because you brought us in. You made us use resources to look for something that didn't exist. When there's actually people dying, real people being jumped and shot in Chicago every day, and you made us take a team of people to go search for nothing. The Chicago Police Department, I think the sheriff or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's a sheriff or, but one of the people in the Chicago Police Department, he literally said, Jesse is the evil of this planet.
Yeah, that's true.
Bro.
Holy shit.
But, dog, because he's like, listen, what you did right now, you took the Chicago Police Department's resources to go look for a fake crime that we could have literally put the same effort, and you put all this attention on you when there's literally kids and people dying in Chicago on the daily.
Yeah. And not only that, like he's pushing the same.
And then on top of it, he goes, now you've also ruined the speculation for like anytime there's actual hate crimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like now people are gonna be skepticism. Like there's gonna be skepticism about someone's like, oh, I got jumped because I was black. It's like, really though?
Right.
You now ruin the real situations now.
And that already started too, because I think Encore too, she's already a racist individual on the news, but she already came out with a statement saying, yeah, all people who make these kind of claims are lying, or all people who make these kind of claims.
Well, but this is the thing, like I don't like hearing from people like us that it ruins it for everyone else. The only reason we say that is because we understand as minorities that people
already don't believe us already.
Well, there's that, but people who are typically racist, I think they know deep down, truthfully, when they're in the wrong, they'll just never admit it, right? But the moment they have one piece of ammo, that's the thing they'll refer to.
Absolutely.
You know, because for every piece of ammo they have, there's probably like at least 100 scenarios that I can point to where it would disprove them. But because this got such a nationally, it was like everywhere.
Everyone sees it.
Now people are like, oh, okay.
You guys are making this up forever.
What about this dude? Like this guy has essentially alienated two groups of minorities, right? You got black people and then you got the LGBT community. And this guy hit double jeopardy by being both of them. Yeah. And now it's put himself, like he just went so far. Yeah. The fact that you said that he actually went and filed a police report is wild, bro.
That's crazy.
It actually is crazy.
Because that means at no point where you're like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah. Like he went so far down that rabbit hole to orchestrate the whole thing, play it out as if it was real. Like, what kind of game was this guy playing?
Man.
And like you said before, apparently he was going to get fired from...
Yeah.
They were going to write him off of Empire before.
Well, now he's taking out anyways.
He's taking out anyways, but so apparently...
And your career's ruined. Yeah. What was the point?
Apparently he apologized to the Empire cast and crew.
No one wants to hear that.
But insists that he's innocent, right?
Stop it. He didn't insist.
Yeah, he apologized to the cast and crew of Empire on Thursday night for any embarrassment the recent allegations may have caused, but he maintained that he was an innocent person.
He lost his mind.
This guy's a new definition of innocent, but all right.
The person at the meeting said they were shocked and dismayed that Smollett stuck to his story of innocence. For the most part, the source said, Smollett paraphrased what was in the statement that his attorney put out the afternoon, blaming the legal system and the media for his woes. Like, this is someone that like is digging themselves a deeper hole. They're just like, fuck.
It's a wrap for him. You think he bounces back or what?
Never.
You don't think his next movie is gonna be absolutely fire? Look what
he won't bounce back simply for the facts. Aside from this being like wrong, simply for the fact that black people literally aren't riding with him anymore. Yeah.
He'll get a Netflix original series. Same way Fire Festival got one. Watch.
No.
Yeah, watch.
It's not the same, Chris.
Man says
Watch.
he's
It's
gonna
not
make
the same.
a reenactment
Watch.
Netflix series.
Watch.
He's not.
Okay, why? Okay.
Reenactment?
Chris said it. Whatever day this is, Chris said it.
You really believe that he's gonna get?
Netflix original is coming up.
Well, no, wait, hold on. I just want to clarify
Netflix
this.
original doc is coming
A
up.
documentary.
Jussie Smollett and the
Nigerian brothers.
and his orchestration of this false narrative.
So he's gonna be on it.
What made you
Yeah.
do this? Like, what made you do this? They're gonna want to find out. I
wanna
actually
know.
I'm not completely off board what he's talking about.
Thank you.
They're gonna,
Thank you.
people want answers.
Look how long this story has dragged
This
on.
is-
Look how long the story's
Then
dragged
this is
on.
where the documentary on Netflix.
People
Yeah,
are
of
gonna.
course.
I'm not gonna say it will, but not. But people are gonna want answers. And once he gets out of this jail, there's going to be someone that's like, why?
Yeah, why? We'll pay you to find out why.
Why?
Yeah, seriously.
Like Jesse, why? Like, because
And he's willing. Look what he's willing to do to get attention. You don't think
He will tell the
he's
story.
willing to sit down?
He will tell the
of course.
story.
Okay, but the question is, you said he's gonna bounce back. Like that's gonna make him bounce back and get other shit after that.
Hey man, that's the beginning of the bounce back.
Wow. I do
Watch.
not rate him that high. You're wild,
Okay,
bro.
just wait on it. Wait on it. Chris
Yeah,
said
right.
it. All right. Chris
Yeah.
said it.
Holy shit.
Oh, actually,
That's 40.
I had a question from this girl. Completely off topic when we were talking about, but we've talked about this a long time ago, but nothing in depth. And she also said her friends having this current situation now, and she wants to see our perspective on it. So I asked her what's her perspective first. And I
Yeah.
didn't give her mine because I'm like, we'll discuss it. But she basically said, you should do a discussion about if it's okay to be liking pictures and following other girls / dudes in your relationship. And I said, we discussed it briefly a while ago, but we can definitely do it again. I'm like, what's your perspective on it? She goes, not cool for sure. You're obviously in a relationship with a person. You shouldn't be doing it. I'm curious what you guys would say about it. My friend's boyfriend is constantly liking girls and following. Like, that's a no in my books. Haha, no respect at all, right? Like, I mean, if you're watching your man's every move to begin with, that's also a no. So, I was like, she basically said, honestly, for me, first of all, I wouldn't be creeping my man if doing what my man's doing on Instagram to begin with, because well, I would trust him, but if someone concerns are brought to my attention, let's say I started noticing liking girls' pictures in bikinis and following them, and then following him back, that would raise some red flags. So, is that, like, we all have Instagram.
So ask the question again. Like, what is
The real question she's trying to figure out is it okay or is it not okay for men or women to be following and liking pictures of the opposite sex while in relationships?
I personally don't think it matters at all.
Me neither.
At the same time, I just think honestly, you have to know the person you're dating, because, for example, like even though I don't do a ton of like portrait photography, like I follow a lot of girls on Instagram.
Right.
And I follow a lot of them mainly because sometimes I like the pictures that the photographers are taking of them. Sometimes I'm thinking I'm gonna use this girl in like some video or some shit, right? But then there are literally times where I'm scrolling through my feed and like Jamie's next to me or she's behind me and we're looking at shit, and I'll see it it's the same thing we talked about. I'll see it like a girl post something, one of those awkward like selfies.
Yeah. Just weird poses.
And I will literally say, I'm like, why am I following you? Like, I'm in my head, I'm like, why am I following you again?
Yeah.
And I remember it's probably because, like, when I was single, I was following you because I thought you were hot.
Right.
But now I just look at you weird, right? Like, you know, we've talked about, you ever seen those selfies, those weird ones that girls take?
The tippy toe pose.
Tippy toe pose. They're like looking away from the camera.
Yeah.
And you're like, who are you looking at, right?
Yeah.
I personally don't think it's an issue, but,
So,
you know, it's just one of those things. You gotta have to, like, you know very early on if it's gonna be an issue or not.
I agree. But the only thing I can address that I can say that causes issues is I don't think there's a problem with liking guys' pictures or liking girls' pictures if you're a man or if you're a woman or man. But I think we talked about this briefly is the issue arises when there's a constant type of person that your boyfriend or girlfriend continues to like, and it's not you.
That's the bigger issue.
Right?
That's the bigger issue.
I think that's
So
I
what,
think
like,
that if a girl or a guy is liking random like Asian, Spanish, black, white, whatever, then it's kind of like, all right, like you just like guys.
Were you referring to like specific girl,
specific person? So what I was gonna say, I'm on your guys' side, where it's like I don't think that shit matters whatsoever, because like it's not real life. You're scrolling like you move on.
Right.
But I was thought when you said specific, I thought if it's a specific individual, that's something's different about that.
That another thing. So I'm not sure if you're talking about a specific person. If it's a specific person, then we all know if you keep doing the same person, you're obviously you're interested to some extent. You're like, this is the one you keep doing. Yeah. What's going on? You kind of and they're doing it back. But I just mean some girls don't like guys liking girls' pictures at all. Like if they're in bikinis, if they're not,
get over yourself.
Right. I think that's dumb. But I think the issue arises when, let's say you're dating a white girl or you're dating a black girl, but everything you're liking is not them.
Oh, okay. Like,
so you can't even be like, oh, this is your type. Like, then I understand where they might start to question, like, why are you with me? Like, you're like, I'm flat chested with like a small bum, and you're liking titties. Like, you're liking titties all day. You know I don't have titties. I can only like one type of food. Like I can only like one fruit. If I eat oranges, I can only eat oranges. I can't ever eat an apple. I can't ever eat a tangerine or a banana. I get what you're saying, but realistically, do you at least understand?
I get where they're coming from.
If a girl's flat and you're just liking titties, or if a girl's white and you're liking pure mixed light skin girls, she's like, do you like? You only are liking light skin girls.
See, but
not even it's the same girl, but all like you're only liking light skin girls.
See, but this is the problem with just going down the path of looking for this shit.
I agree.
No matter who you are or what you do, if you take the time to just like lurk or like creep for this stuff,
you're gonna find something you don't like.
You're going to find something you don't like, even if you had no intention of doing it. You're going to. It's just human nature. There's gonna be some, because we're gonna connect the dots somehow and be like, oh, you like this.
You'll find a way to make it connect.
Oh, she like this.
Yeah.
Oh, she like this too.
Right.
There must be a connection here. Right. Yo, I saw the funniest Twitter last night, and it said women when they go lurking and see shit you did 3 years before y'all get together.
Dude starts crying.
Right? And it's like,
what are you doing down here?
That's what's problem.
What are you going back that far for? Like, what? What do you want to see? That I was a dog? Like, what?
What was he like before me? Why?
I was in heat.
I was in heat back then. What do you want me to do?
Bro, I saw.
I'm tame now. Relax. Fuck.
I saw this girl's story. I think yesterday. She basically had a survey. I didn't answer it because it was for girls. But she basically had a survey, like a yes or no survey in the story, right? And she goes, when you go through your man's phone, right? Are you looking to find something, or are you looking to find reasons to love him more?
Yeah, that's a valid question. Because nobody goes nobody's significant.
You know what the answer
nobody's
is.
significant other goes through their phone looking for. Oh, I wonder if he's keeping notes about what I like. Like nobody's significant other is going to do that. I wonder if he's saving sweet text messages I sent him from 3 years ago. Ain't no significant others doing. I want
to see all the nice things he's been telling his friends about me.
Yeah, nobody. I want to see in the group chat how much he loves me, how much he loves what I made for him today.
You're only there for a problem.
If you pick up someone's phone, you are looking for something.
You're looking for something. Right?
That's the bottom line. You have to admit that.
But that's I think why people look too much into Instagram, look too much into how people move online, because at the end of the day, there's only a small amount of people who show all of themselves in social media. Like a lot of time, you're one way on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever it may be, and you're a different person outside. So if this person is liking photos of whoever, if it's any type of girl and you like the photo, it doesn't mean you're gonna act on that motion. If I like a girl who's in Amsterdam,
you might not be able to do it.
Even if you wanted to, it's a double tap, scroll, next one. I have no connection to that person or that photo whatsoever. And you're just moving on. People put way too much onus into those type of things. I think.
I just kind of had a moment there when you said someone in another place. Yeah. You have no. I had no connection to Jamie.
Oh shit.
And he's like, what I mean. I mean, if I want to make it out, I'll make it out.
So how does that? You just started like double tapping her photos. All of a sudden, you guys in a relationship?
Pretty much, yo. That ass, like, I don't know.
Hi, baby girl, be worried. Be worried.
That's it.
Be worried.
It exists. Hey, listen. It exists.
Oh my god, I guess so.
It can't happen,
But listen to Chris. He's like, I mean,
the way he was looking at me though.
I think Chris. He's like, yo, if she's not even in this town, doesn't even matter. He's like, that's some bullshit. To be honest with you.
I'm like, hey man.
The way he was looking at me.
Yo, I went to the other side of the country, man.
Yeah, damn. All right, yeah.
Chris, that's some bullshit. If I don't make it out, I'll make it out there.
Yeah, all right, you got a good reason to be worried then. I'm sorry.
So then what? So what is it then? Is it like what is it then? Because now
she doesn't trust her man. That's what it is.
That's honestly what it is.
That's what it is. Like straight up, you. Like it doesn't matter. Like Chris said, this whole social media thing, I do think people put a lot into it, right? And I know I brought up the case of like me actually going across the country to get Jamie. Right. But the reality is like if anyone really wants something, you can't stop them from getting it, right? So
telling them to stop
won't do it. So I can like as many girls' photos on Instagram as I want, but I know that I'm not going to, I know that, and it's my job to, I don't want to say it's like a thing where I have to constantly reassure you, but I should be able to make it clear to you, like I'm doing it, but I'm not gonna go act on it, right? Because I'm only invested in you. And if the guy isn't doing that, I think maybe that's where some of the the distrust comes from. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's like, come on, this shit is social media, right? Like Chris said, people only put maybe 10% of who they are really out there. Highlights too. They don't put the lowlights. Seriously, people only put the highlights out there. So I don't know.
Okay, another question while we're talking about going through phones and stuff. I know you had a situation where your girlfriend went through your phone. Yeah. And you talked about how that went and the issues that comes from going through that. And we're talking about when people go through people's phones, it's typically for negative things. Yeah. It's typically because they're curious. They want to find something, and it's really to start an argument at some point. Yeah. And if they don't find an argument, then you'll never know about it. Yeah. They're kind of like, oh, well, everything's fine.
Yo, and the point is,
it's almost like, what? Go ahead.
If you're at the stage already where you have to go look through the phone, it's probably like going down the wrong path, anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I wouldn't say going down the wrong, because I feel like girls have that curiosity, like from time. It's just, I feel like it's a thing that girls just have from time, whether things are good, things can be great. And there's just their phone's there. It's accessible.
But Ryan, I don't think your relationship's gonna be great. And the first thing you're gonna do, like, you know what? Nah, everything's great, but I'm gonna check his phone just to make sure. I'm
not gonna say first thing.
So I feel like something happened for you to go, okay, you know what? Nah, he's been. If you're living together, everybody knows. Like, if you're living with your significant other, you guys have certain routines, certain things. Yeah. Right. All of a sudden his routine's off, or all of a sudden her routine's off. All of a sudden you start acting different, moving different. I see you on your phone a little different. No, it's not, something's off right now. Now that's gonna lead me to go check your phone.
You're saying something sparks.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, it's everything's going smooth. Oh, we're doing well. Right. But I'm gonna just go check the phone.
But you know what's fucked up?
But I do I agree with that. Yeah. There is a large extent of women that things are going fine until some type of action changes. Yeah. And there are some that just check. There are some that I just want to
to his point, there's I agree with you wholeheartedly, but to his point, there are women who in your mind you think everything is fine, like you've done nothing wrong whatsoever, and then someone just goes through your phone, right? So at the same time, the fucked up thing is I'm almost
hold on, but when you say that you think everything is fine, but is everything fine?
That's what I'm saying. I think everything's fine. Okay. But okay, so prime example, the fucked up thing is I'm not entirely surprised if someone goes through my phone, because I know that I am literally always on my phone all the time.
So they're curious, what's happening, right? Because it's just a curiosity, what's happening there.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I understand it from an outside perspective, how weird it must be for someone like a woman to date someone like Ryan or a freelance
or clearly active
who is very active on social media, who's literally always on their phone. If I'm not on my phone checking emails, looking for emails all the time,
you're on the computer.
I'm on my computer. If I'm not on my phone doing those things, I'm in a group chat.
Right.
Like
You're doing some type of
I'm doing something with my phone all the time. So it almost looks unhealthy that I don't put my phone down sometimes. Like I'll get up. This is weird. Like I'll get up to go to the bathroom. I bring my phone with me. Like
I can't even lie.
And it's not even because I have something to hide. It's literally I bring my phone with me because I know that's prime Instagram time. Like
when you're on the toilet chilling. So that's why I feel like your point is definitely accurate to an extent for the average relationship.
Okay.
Because I'll say for the average relationship, it's like if the person's not always on their phone and everything's are good, then there's there's nothing. Yeah. It's like like he's saying, me and him are always on our phone. So it's like it's not like I'm on my phone and like this. It's I'm just always on it. Right. So for someone who's not used to someone like that, used to someone like us, them going through a phone is out of sheer curiosity. Like, what's happening in there? Like, why is he always in there? Like, what is he? Like, they start creating like, why is the phone so exciting? What's he laughing at all the like? They just need to find out. I'll give you guys a real life example. Like, when I was in New York around it a couple weeks ago, I can't remember what it was, but I think I was playing music on my phone, right? And we had Airbnb, and the music was playing or something, and for some reason, she's like, oh, I was in the kitchen, and she's like, oh, what's your password for your phone? I have to do something, turn the music off or whatever, right? And I was like, she's like, what's the password for your phone?
Yeah. Man hesitated.
And I because I'm like,
what the hell is he on the password?
Wow.
So I was like, and I gave it to her, right? Yeah. In my mind, immediately I'm like, I need to change that. Like,
really?
Like after. Yeah. Not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, after I said it, I'm like, I'll give it, like, I gave it to her because I'm like, here, you need to get it. And I'm not going to be like, no, let me come do it. Like, I'm not that crazy about it. Yeah. But I'm like, I know, like, just the female mind, she's not forgetting that. Do you understand? Like, I just know that. I've been through enough girls, I've met enough people, I had enough flings and whatnot that I'm like, you're not forgetting that password. Whatever number I just gave you, that's burned. Because I just gave you my password.
Got you.
Whether just because you might think, oh, it's just that one day I need, like, you remember it, right? So she's like, what's the password of your phone? I'm like, what's the password, babe? I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's like, okay, thanks. Blah, blah. She does whatever she's doing. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, note to self, change your password. I just did that normally in my head, right? So then, maybe the next day, I think, I changed it. Cool. Weeks go by now. I think it was 2 weeks ago now or a week ago, and we're just fooling around in the house, just playing around with it, right? Yeah. And play fighting, push on the bed. It's cool, whatever, right? And then I'm trying to go to bed, so I'm laying down. And
I'm already laughing.
I'm laying down trying to go to bed now. I'm like, it's late, yo. Stop fooling around, you know. She's like, no, it's just the hyper, still playing. Yeah. I'm like, just chill, man. Let's go to bed. We're done. She's like, no, just come on. So she takes my phone's on the dresser. She takes it and runs off, right? Yeah. She's like, this will get you up. I know I changed my password. She doesn't know it. She doesn't know I changed my password. So I'm chilling, right?
It's like, all right, perfect. Let me sleep.
Right. But she doesn't, like, in her, I know she remembered it from that day. Like, I know she did. And she may not know that I remember that she does. Yeah. But in her mind, she's like, this will get him up. Yeah. Right? So she takes my phone and runs off. Yeah. I'm laying in bed chilling. I'm just like, yo, stop playing, yo, just chill. She's like, no, come get it. I'm like, all right, whatever, do what you're doing. Literally 30 seconds. Yeah. She come back soon. Wow.
Wow, you changed it.
I'm like this, huh? What? She's like, wow. I'm like this, what? I'm like, what's going on? She's like, wow, okay.
You know in your head why you're like, what? You know what? You know why, wow. You know why.
You were waiting for the wow. That's the thing. He was waiting for the wow.
Your eyes different.
So I'm laying in bed like this. I'm like, what? What's going on? What? She puts the phone back down. She's
like he's half asleep already. Wait, yo, it's falling asleep.
She puts the phone down. She's like, so you changed it? I'm like, hell yeah. Yeah, I did.
Hell yeah.
She's like, why? I'm like, because I knew you would do this. Yeah. I knew you remembered it. Okay. Like, I knew the fact that we're in this situation right now, this is exactly why I changed it. She's like, but why'd you change it? I'm like, why did you try it? Like, you you tried what you remembered.
That's a funny response. Why'd you try it?
Yeah. Because like you tried what you like. Nothing against her. I love the girl, but like you tried what you remembered from weeks ago.
Yeah.
Thinking I wouldn't remember that I gave this to you, and you're mad at me because I actually remembered and thought ahead of what you were about to do and stopped you. Yeah. Like,
see, right? You're the problem though, because that's why women have trust issues. Why?
Why did you memorize? Why did you memorize my password to use it in the future?
Why are you changing it? That's gonna be her response. That's gonna be her response.
And my response is, why are you trying it? So like, where are we now?
Like, no, but
it's a circle. Like you changed it because you knew she would try it. She's asking why you change it.
I hear you. But see, that's the reason why women are gonna have issues, like trust issues.
But
because they're gonna feel like they're gonna, even men too. Like say your role reversal.
Mm-hmm. I don't do that, but continue.
Role reversal with a man who's insecure.
Right.
Role reversal.
So is she insecure?
Yeah.
Yes. I think every girl.
I believe every girl is insecure to an extent.
They have an insecurity.
Every girl. No, I don't think every girl is.
I think they do. I think every girl has some level of insecurity.
Go ahead.
Every girl.
So role reversal.
Okay, so role reversal. If that was a girl who the boyfriend took the phone.
Right.
Was like, hey, babe, what's your password? Gave it to him. 2 weeks later, he's just like, oh, you same thing. Grabs the phone, puts the password. Oh, what the. He's like, wait a minute, yo, she just told me her password 2 weeks ago. Why is she switching on me? Yo,
on you though, like it's not on. She didn't switch it on you.
Why is she switching her password?
But the thing is, they feel like they
okay, and then but then when the guy confronts her with a question, and no, this is why'd you change your password? And you're gonna respond with a question back. Why are you trying to?
No, the question was, my first response was because I knew you would do what you're doing right now. Was my first response.
And now, what's the issue with me doing what I'm doing?
Why are you going into my?
No. Answer my question. What's the issue with me doing what I'm doing?
It's my private phone, and we have it's actually mandatory that people have privacy. That's literally mandatory.
In a relationship?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that depends what type of relationship you're in now.
Listen, we need our own privacy. Whether you're married, whether you're engaged, dating, you need a level of privacy. That's just
this is interesting. What are you talking about?
Because nothing should be like transparency is one thing and honesty is another thing.
Okay,
those are things that should exist.
Okay,
me being honest with you, being faithful, those should exist.
Right.
Privacy is not attached to honesty and faithfulness. Privacy is. There's certain conversations that if you come into them out of context, you won't understand it. 2, there's things that talk to my parents, talk to my family, which people go through thoughts and processes all the time that they're not unsure about. They have friends, ask friends for advice, and people say a lot of things, and I have in the past as well, where you're saying things while you're thinking to certain people in private because you're like, this is how I kind of formulate my thought process. And if you read this as a girlfriend or a boyfriend out of context, now there's a fight about something that has been solved already with that person privately, and I didn't bring it to you because if I bring it to you in bunches, you're gonna take it in pieces, and I can't pull it back together to a solid story.
Okay.
So privacy is required to give people the best version of yourself, not a lie, but you're not. You shouldn't be part of my thought process. You shouldn't be, Chris.
That depends on the relationship. That depends. Because I understand where you're coming from, but that depends on the relationship. Go ahead.
Well, no, because. You're right. Like, I think in today's day and age, it's weird how attached we become to, like, okay, I love technology. I think it's a little bit weird how attached we are to it. But at the same time, I'll be honest, like, when someone goes through my phone without me knowing, I literally equate it to them, like, entering my brain without their permission. Okay. Only because
I agree.
Because of some of the reasons that Ryan listed, it's like, you will come into context, like conversations without context, right? Convo. And the thing is, like, look, it is I'm gonna say it's no secret. The way that I talk with my boys is completely different to how I talk with my girl, right? I mean,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, not even to be honest,
it's not that you're lying to your boys. That's not even the thing. It's not even about that.
To be honest, it's not even like drastically different. It's just these are my boys. Like, this is the way I talk. Like, okay, for example, Jamie knows the password to my shit, right? And what's weird is she's probably she's the only girl where I feel no ways about her knowing that shit, right? Because I know I'm not doing anything. But even if she saw combos that I was having, let's just say she saw combos I was having with my boys, where I'm talking about girls, or I'm in those conversations about girls, I feel like I trust her enough to understand like this is just how
not to overreact.
This is how dudes are, right? Yesterday I'm at the gym and I'm sparring, and I asked Jamie, I'm like, oh, can you record some of this, right? And I just tell her because she knows my code. She wants to open up the shit, right? And she's like, what's your code again? And I tell her, and it doesn't work, right? It's usually like my old house number or some shit, and it didn't work 2 times. I was like 2160, like 3381, and she was like, you changed your passcode? Like there was that split second where she's like, what? She's like, you changed your passcode? And I'm like, I just got hit in the head like a bunch of times in boxing. Like, give me a second. I'm not focused. I'm like, give me a second. And I'm like, no, it's this. And then it works, right? But that split second when she questioned me, she's like, you changed your passcode? Like,
she felt disrespected.
I know there was a moment of her where like, if I said, like I changed it, but this is what it is now. If I didn't, it'd be some type of mood. Yeah. Now, that's a minute example, but contrast that to someone like my ex, right? I will never forget. Like, she went through my phone once without my knowledge, and then she's talking to me about conversations that I'm having with my boys, and I'm like, what? First of all,
what are you doing in there?
First of all, like, what are you going through my phone for? I don't care if there's some like level of distrust or whatever. Don't go through my phone without me knowing, right? Secondly, you go through my phone and you read conversations that you have no context in, you're going to get mad, right? You just are.
It's gonna happen.
It's going to happen. Like, you need. So to Ryan's point about the whole privacy thing, I personally think, like there are times where you and your partner need to have things that you do just on your own, right? Absolutely. And I know for a fact that if I go through like my partner's phone, if I was to take the time and go through it, I'm probably going to get to a point where it's like I'm looking now to try to find something wrong.
To find something,
right? Like this person can't be perfect. They gotta be doing something to like be fucking up somehow.
Fault them somehow.
You need, because then it justifies you going through their phone. Otherwise,
just looking. What do you mean?
Right? So this whole
you have your own phone.
Just looking.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at your own phone. Look at your own. But that's how I really feel about technology nowadays in our phones. Like, it's a weird example, but
you're saying entering your phone is like entering your head. Not everybody's gonna relate to that.
I know, but the reason I say that is because I know for a fact that like when someone goes through my phone and they see, like, they'll see conversations of how I'm talking to you, because I'm not talking to you in person, right? That's the thing. Right. When we're texting, it's my thoughts coming onto here, going over to you. Right? But it'd be different if they saw like videos of me talking to you. Right? So now they're reading shit that came out of my head and went into the screen. You don't get tone, you don't get context, you don't get any of these things. I may say something about a girl, but they don't know it's an inside joke
from years
ago. And I'm just like, wow, like now I have to go back and explain this and
a story that has nothing to do with you.
I feel I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
It's just a
look, I see both. I definitely see both sides of it, right?
So when you guys are talking about privacy, though, I get you have to do stuff apart. Like, if you're in a relationship, you can't do everything together. You can't cook, bathe, shower.
He's not even talking about actions. He's talking about you need to have your private life. And I don't mean not a secret life. Because people mistake privacy for secrecy.
Right.
Privacy is not secrecy. It's literally just, you have to remember, like, at the very minimum of all this shit, we're basically two individuals putting our lives together. Right. Like, I am my own being, you're your own being, and we're like, let's share this together.
For sure. Yeah.
But it's not, let me cross in, like, we share our experiences, we share our love, we share our, our interests and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But you're not becoming me, and I'm not becoming. I still have to let you be yourself. Like 100%. Before I existed and before you existed, we have our way of doing this. We have our way of talking to friends. Like, that shouldn't change because I'm with you. It shouldn't be like, now that you're with me, like, I don't want you talking to, this is more how Lax used to talk to him. I don't want you making these jokes anymore that you're used to making with him before me. Like, that's nothing to do with, that's not affecting you because I'm not disrespecting you. This is my friend for years. Like, I shouldn't have to be like, shit, I gotta monitor what I say now. From the relationship we've built for years, I gotta monitor how I even operate naturally because of padding her insecurity of potentially coming and seeing this. That's fucking nuts. Like,
I hear you, but yo, like, okay, it's easy, like easy way on my side. I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit, but like it depends on the type of relationship you have.
Go for it.
So if you're with a girl, and that girl is like your girl is your best friend,
right,
and you have I have a certain relationship with my boys. I'm gonna talk to you a certain way, but if your girl's your best friend, where you can have them come around and they're gonna be able to have those conversations too, and you can give her your phone password, you can have a joint bank account with them, you can put both names on a mortgage together. That's a way different type of like you two are forming into one. Some people look for that type of love.
But why can't all that exist and you still have your privacy?
It can.
Like,
it definitely can.
I don't feel they're one or the other. I don't feel it's if you're like this, then you shouldn't be private. Like,
but you gotta have two people in a relationship who are like that.
Yeah.
So you have to have two people who think
who
like
understand that.
So you gotta have two people who I can be myself and I can respect that Ryan's gonna have his privacy and he's gonna do anything, and I can be secure myself to trust him to have his own life. And
that's so difficult. It's very rare.
You gotta have, but this thing you gotta have two people. Because if I'm the type of person who's like, no, I'm getting into the relationship with you because I need support all the time. I need to know that I'm thinking about that before I think about myself. I'm thinking about you, and I need you before you think about yourself to think about me. Some people, not just girls, not just guys. Some people literally think like that. Like when you enter a relationship, you become a servant to somebody else. Where whatever I have going on, that's gotta take a back burner to build up my significant other, so that through everything they know that I got their back and I'm someone that they can lean on. But you gotta have two people the exact same way, so you can trust that it's reiterated.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is, like, now that it's weird because as I get older and I've been in more relationships, my first instinct is to say, like, early in a relationship, these are things that I would need to find out before I even get in a relationship with someone. I would need to know these things. Absolutely. Whereas years ago, I would have never done any of these things. Sure, I wouldn't have asked these things off the jump. Sure. But now I know.
I'm very vocal now.
Yeah, now I know it's like, okay, if I'm gonna get in a relationship with you, then like these are the things that you're gonna have to be okay with, and vice versa. Because these things aren't gonna bother me.
And what do I need to be okay with?
Yeah, because, like, what do I need to know? Because that's just one of those things for me, truthfully. Right? Like I've had people go through my phone and then find shit they don't like, whether it was deserved or not deserved, right? So I'm not gonna act like they've never found shit they weren't supposed to. But at the same time, it's like it's weird to me it's weird to me that whole topic of just going through someone's phone. Just put yourself in that position, right? I think maybe it's because we're men. We never really had to be in a particular situation where, like, I feel the need to go through my girl's phone. But it's like...
I think all men have felt it. I think there's definitely men who felt the need
No, when I say that because... I'm not saying men don't do that, but I'm saying typically based on the way, like, stereotypes and the way society is set up, I think maybe there's this narrative that only women do it.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
But at the same, guys definitely do it. Guys definitely do it. But if we're just talking about the three of us in this room,
have you done it?
No.
Have you done it?
No,
I've never done it.
I've never done it, but
I've never
done it. But the reason I've never done it is because I know that if I go through your phone, I will, like, find something that even if there's nothing there. Case in point, the whole context and tone thing. Yeah. I would probably create something in my head, even though I like to think I'm a sensible person. If I'm going through your phone, at that point, it's because I need to find something to justify me having gone through your phone, which is pretty unhealthy in my opinion.
So, that's what I was saying before. It's like there was things that triggered. Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna go look through your phone. I'm looking for something now.
So what's your take on it then, for you personally? Do you, in terms of password, in terms of going to people's phones?
Oh yeah, I don't care if my girl has my password or not.
So she has it.
Yeah. If she remembers it now, I don't know, but probably does.
Okay, and you have hers.
She's told me before. I don't remember.
You don't care.
Yeah.
You don't care.
But it'd be like we're in the car, music's playing. Yo, I want to change this on. What's your password?
Yeah.
This. That's what it is. Right. But, like, I don't care.
And you never had an issue where she's gone through your phone and found something.
Nah. But yo, she's obviously been upset and she wants to go through my phone.
Yeah.
I've given my phone here. Scroll through. Go look.
Yeah.
Right there. And no, found. There's nothing to find, so it's whatever.
Okay.
But I'm not on my phone as much as you guys. I'm not taking photos of females like you guys do, so there's less to get mad about
Fam, like, yo, I don't know. It really just comes
like
down.
at first, we talked so many times about this.
It just comes down to who the fuck it is you're dating. Right?
Exactly, that's all it is.
I'm dating someone now who on the side like models, right? So thankfully for me, it's like, okay,
she understands that world.
She understands that world. Whereas, before, I will never forget. I think I complained to you about this, right? When my ex was basically we had a conversation where it was about me shooting other girls, and I had essentially said like I'm gonna shoot whoever I want, right? Like whether it's a girl or guy. If it's a girl that I know it may cause problems, I just won't shoot her. But I can shoot whoever I want. And the fact that I said I can shoot whoever I want led to an argument. And I'm like, yo, this person does not support what I do. Right? I was like, what am I doing in this relationship?
Dictating who I'm shooting. Yeah. Like, do you understand what I'm actually doing or no?
You clearly don't, right? Because you're trying to take money out of my hands right now.
You're trying to take literally half of people. Like, there's only men and women. Like, can't shoot women, so...
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, man. It all depends about who you're with, and depends on like you gotta like I said, you gotta understand each other. You guys gotta be on the same
honestly,
page.
like I'm really big on communication, and 1,000%. I think, like, again, for anyone listening, guys, I don't think this is a black and white situation because it's all based on, like Chris has been saying, like who you're with. Like I've been saying, privacy and secrecy are not the same thing. And like Zamora has been saying, it's like, if you're with someone who understands who you are as a person, then certain issues don't exist. But anytime there's a disconnect in any of those things, that's when the problems happen.
Yeah, it's true.
Because if someone doesn't understand you, they're going to go look for something. If someone, feels like, you're hiding something, you're not, because of them not understanding how you operate, then they interpret it as you hiding, then they're going to look for something. And there's everything, like Chris is saying, like there's a trigger, not always triggers that you're even consciously doing. It's like,
that's
if they don't get you, then your natural behavior becomes a trigger.
Yeah.
And then you're constantly losing because it's like, you're really like, I'm not doing anything. It's like, yeah, but the way you always on your phone, like, I'm actually always on my phone. Like, do you not understand that? Or you think it's just strictly to you?
Right.
Like, it's a lot of personal disconnect where it's like, they feel like you're doing things because of them. So then they react to try and get something out of you. And it's a constant cycle. But, if your girl or your man has your password, then, I mean, so be it. If I personally, I'm like, I don't really think it's necessary because I don't need your password because your phone is like, honestly, it's like a diary, to be honest.
Your phone's like a diary?
I feel like our phones this day is like a diary. Like
it's the whole Brady thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's a new age diary. Like when we were kids and people had a little diary, and they're writing their stories and writing how they feel, whatever. Like I would never be like, let me see what's in this diary. Like it's like, come on. Like
to your point.
Go ahead.
I guarantee if you guys were to go through your phones right now and like your photos or like videos or whatever, or screenshots, and just go all the way to the top, you would see shit that you completely forgot was even there.
I'm sure.
1,000%, right? So think about that, and think about someone going through your phone and looking at those things that even you forgot about, and then you have to because with my phone, I can tell you with my phone, I'm not telling myself, all right, every week I'm gonna delete things. No. To save space or bullshit. No one saves space on their phone by doing these things. They just let it go up and then delete it when it's fucking full. Right? So think about how crazy that is. You'll see some shit in your own phone where you're like, oh wow, that's crazy. Like that's wild. Right? Like I gotta delete that because that might start an argument.
Because it might be taken out of context at some point in the future.
Even if I look at my own phone and I'm like,
well, that could be weird.
I'm like, not even because I did something wrong. It's like,
oh, that's like wild.
That's wild.
Me seeing this now, you're like, whoa, okay.
Let me get
I
rid of
didn't do
this.
anything wrong at this point, but I get how this can look.
Okay.
So
imagine having zero context and just seeing it
in
current day.
Context is important in everything, man. Like every facet of life. That's why people are so upset with like things like Twitter as well, right? Because people get outraged and shit online, but you can't like interpret context from Text.
How did he mean it? Oh, I know he was angry when he said it. What?
How do you know that?
Because the way he was typing.
The way he was typing.
Bro,
Were you beside him seeing it? Like, the man could have typed that very
I was in the
calmly.
toilet when I typed that shit.
Like, I can tell. I know what he meant. You don't. No one knows what someone means.
That's true.
Unless I explain it to you, you'll never know what I mean. And even then, you can still not know what I mean. That's how crazy communication is.
I could literally say to you, I'm saying this in the happiest way possible. Like, I am not angry. I'm not mad at you. Blah, 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 blah. And people will still be like, nah, you're cheese.
You're clearly mad.
You're clearly mad.
And then now you're getting mad because you're like, I'm telling you, I'm not mad. Oh, you're getting angry now. Now I am getting angry, yes. When I first said it, I wasn't. But now that I'm continually saying it, I'm actually angry now.
Now you got me pissed.
It's like, oh man. Anyway, phones. It's a diary, guys. I feel like it's a diary, and if you're open to sharing your diary with someone, then that's your prerogative. But I don't feel like it should be a mandatory thing.
And if you're not, get 2 phones.
Get that trap.
Imagine that, having 2 phones and someone catching you with the other phone.
That would be crazy.
There's nothing you can explain.
No.
That. Why do you have 2 phones? I'm
Work,
part of the mafia.
Work. You work at Foot Locker.
They'll give you a company phone. Foot Locker company phone.
It's to check inventory.
Oh my god! So you guys, the other story of the week, the Robert Kraft incident.
How serious is that? He's basically doing like.
I don't know if it's really gonna be that serious for him because he's rich as fuck.
It's not that serious.
What happened?
It's okay.
Sex prostitution, essentially, no?
He basically went to a rub and tug, and the rub and tug was using the women in there were being held against their will to do what they were doing.
Did he have knowledge of that though?
That's what's yet to be proven. That is what's yet to be proven. So the fucked up part is the women, the women are being held against their will to do stuff they're not supposed to. That's the prostitution part.
And it's just like, are you aware? Like,
Exactly.
Are you just going there to have fun, or are you aware this been happening?
Exactly.
And just hush.
My thought. So that's completely bad. That shouldn't be happening. Like in all the sense.
But I went for the butt, Chris.
Robert Kraft getting caught up this. I don't know how that. He's a billionaire. How is he going to a rub and tug for like $75? When you're that rich, you just hire you hire escorts. Like you hire high priced escorts.
I know.
Like, are you kidding me?
That's the crazy thing about
unless you're really funding this. It's like
unless you're really funding this. Yeah, exactly. Shit. Unless you know something more about that.
This is your shit. You're like, I'm gonna come in here because these are my people.
Exactly. So that's a different story.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing when you think about how, like we talked about it with Jeff Bezos. Like, how are these rich dudes so sloppy?
Bro,
I know mans that work for UPS that aren't sloppy like
you know
this.
what it
you
is?
forget. Well,
I was gonna say you probably just want what you want what you can't have, or you want to do like what's kind of dangerous. Like people get a kick out of that. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're gonna say. I get that.
I was gonna say these are old heads, and they're not used to this social media shit.
That too.
Like, this is old money. Some of these
But
guys.
this didn't happen. Like, they didn't get caught because of social media. Like,
Of course they did. Like,
no. The cops literally pulled up, and then it exploded on social media.
okay, so what? Well, sure, but I'm saying we don't know if social media had a help in them finding. Like, I'm just saying, like, this. Not even the social media, like Instagram. I mean, literally the social media, just things being socially exploited all the time, and just like. These guys come from old money where, like, mans are doing stuff in the dirt for years.
Yeah.
And unless you're with me, no one knows this happened. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. There's old money where mans are doing dirt. And it's like, see you next week. You shake the man's hand. And it's like, no one knows this happened. You don't have a cell phone.
There's no text conversation.
For the next week, we don't know each other.
Bro, there's no meetup. There's same time, same place.
Oh,
no, like, that's how we used to operate business.
You know how crazy that term is?
Same time,
Same place. No one in the history of my life have I ever said to another man, same time, same place, and he's been there the same time at the same place. That's never happened in my life.
That's criminal shit.
I have to text the man and be like, yo, where you at? Yo, I'm running late. I'd be like,
Yo, we still on for it. We still on for that time.
you know the kind of trust you have to have? No, for real. No,
You're
this
the
is
clock in, same time, same place. Without speaking since. Without speaking.
I have to look you dead in the eye, both of you, right? And say, listen, we're gonna be here the same time, same place, not across the street. This same bench right here is next week.
At
same
this time.
Look, everyone pulls up their phone, they're watching. 409, bet I'll be there. I'll be there.
Without a reminder, without a follow-up text,
No follow-up
without a call. It's just like you have to know next Saturday. It's like, oh shit. I just like
You don't know what could have been going on there like that whole week or a whole month or whatever.
Be here.
Be there this time.
Same time, same
that's
place.
criminal shit. That's a line by criminals.
That's definitely criminal activity.
Like, so what I'm saying is like these old people are coming out now. It's like I feel like they've been doing some of this shit for years.
100%.
And now it's like it's just so much harder for them to hide. They just don't know how. Like they
100%.
just don't know how.
What did Xavier say about this man? Xavier was like, one of the dudes caught in this sex ring was like 83 years old.
Fucking.
This guy had the oxygen tank on full blast.
Oh my god.
To just get his pumps in, bro.
Oxygen tank on full blast to get them pumps in. That's crazy.
Jeez.
It's always these old dudes who are doing like.
Yeah, man.
That's the thing. They just get caught in the sloppy. I mean, yeah, because you're right.
Yeah.
I look at it like it's sloppy, and to them, they're just. Robert could have been doing this for like the last 10 years.
Bro, he was doing it before. Man, his wife died in 2011. His wife, he's like 77 or 78 or something.
77, yeah.
His wife was around the same age. He met his girlfriend, who's 39, in 2012. He met his girlfriend in 2012.
Yeah.
That's when they made it official. Your wife dies the year before, and you're already with a new girl.
Yeah,
less than a year later. He probably had her from way before too. He's been doing this.
Bro, it's not old money.
Money chain. Oh, yo, remember we were having a conversation before about if you hit a lick, like you had a stupid amount of money.
Yeah.
What type of personality traits or what type of characteristics?
Oh yeah, he wasn't here for that.
No,
Right?
it wasn't.
Okay, that's
What
a good
type of
question.
okay, so basically chilling here. I don't even remember like Super Bowl weekend or something. If you hit like a ridiculous amount of money, right?
Right.
What kind of person? Everybody loves to say, "Oh no, I'll be the same. I just have more money. I'm gonna donate here. I'm gonna give some to my mom and dad." Sure, whatever. That's cool. But let's be real. Let's be honest. If you are now a billionaire and you know you're never ever gonna go broke again, and money is nothing to you now, like you can do anything you want. What type of character traits or what type of like personality traits or characteristics about you would either get heightened or would be like, or what negative aspects would be exploited? Either positive or negative would be like now exploited to the world. So for example, for me, for what I said, all right, right now in the university, for example, when I was broke, when I was like making minimum wage, I would gamble money I did not have. I was betting money I didn't have, trying to like, let me make more money. I was on Bet365 playing online roulette. Okay, that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Now, if I had a ridiculous amount of money, I would be doing some ridiculous type of gambling. That's a characteristic trait, negative or positive, however you want to call it.
Get blown up.
That would get blown out of proportion, and I'm aware of that.
You're like, I gambled and I had $100.
Exactly.
Give me $1 billion.
Exactly.
100 racks.
Exactly.
I'm black.
Like that's something that would definitely get if. So that's like an example for me. So what's something?
Because I said like my personality trait, it would probably be like my ability to tell people to fuck off.
You just
like,
be rude as fuck.
I wouldn't be rude as fuck, but I'd be so quick to just cut people off.
I actually don't need you.
I don't need you anymore. Like I look at my crew.
I don't need you.
So my crew would stay the same,
Like,
and then literally no one else could talk to me.
Like I don't have to fix.
Like,
it.
sorry,
Exactly.
I want to burn this bridge because I actually don't need anything from you.
Like, literally nothing.
Yeah, because right now there's times you're like,
I don't need to go there. I don't need this bridge. It's done. I don't need it
there are
anymore.
times now where you're like, I hate this guy, but I just want to fuck this up. So
yeah,
no problem. Like you do those like. Yup.
If I became a billionaire, I'm telling you, there's some people that just would not talk to me.
No time. Yeah. Okay. For me, gambling out that I used to do that until I worked for the casino. So
and you saw.
I worked for the casino. I saw some deadly things. Other people like come crying. I paid all I lost all my savings. My wife's gonna like. They come to the desk to be like, "Can you ban me?" Like. I'm like, how much you spend today? I pull up their card, 100 racks. I'm like, I'll call security. Because I can't do it, right? So I've seen the low of it. So like, I still gamble here now. I LA Blackjack, I still play. Yeah. But I still play now because I'm trying to make money. Not because I'm addicted anymore. Right. You know what I mean? Before I was like, when I was in university, I'm like, I was in Ottawa and the casino was in Hull. So like we just go over there like
just for fun.
Between classes, I just go over there and just make some little money. I'm broke. I'm like, just try. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Now it's kind of like if I have some extra money, I'll do it. If I lose, like fuck, I lost. So if I was rich like that, I'd probably be like, I don't need to gamble anymore because I'm rich. Right. So that would be gone. But I think I would definitely be I would definitely be the car guy.
Car guy, okay.
I would definitely like.
I can see that too.
I would. I know you can only drive one car at a time.
And you have like 26.
I would get
Oh,
every car.
Must be Wednesday.
Like,
Hey, right? Must be Wednesday.
I'm telling you, I would be the car guy, and people would hate me. They'd be like, "Yo, chill."
Yeah, and you would flaunt it
Like,
too. Like, okay.
I would be the car guy and the loud ones. Like, they would all say Mr. KOA. I'd find some way to get multiple Mr. KOA plates if it's legal.
Yeah.
Like, so Mr. KOA 1, Mr. KOA 3. I would be the asshole. I would come and yo, where man said? I would be. That would be me for sure. I would pull up to like. You know Caravana and man's are driving slow downtown? And you're like, yo, this guy's driving slow just because Caravana. It's me. Yeah. This is my Bugatti.
See the license plate. Check the license plate.
So I think if I could, like we diss it now because we're broke.
Of course.
So, but
that's
you
what I'm getting at.
You know Caravana times when man's rent cars and they're driving super slow and you're like, they're bumping loud music. And you're like, this guy's a waste. This guy,
man.
But the thing is, he rented it. I would make like, this is mine.
Yeah, you gotta get them plates custom.
This is mine. I'll be the loud guy, but it's mine. So yeah, I think that I don't know why, but I love cars, but I feel like that'd be my vice.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any shit that I would buy like that. I mean, obviously, I think I'd buy a fuckload of cars and clothes. I think I'd probably just be that person where you look at my IG and be like, wasn't he just in Toronto yesterday?
Oh, you just be traveling.
I just be all over the place like, all the time.
Just a fucking pin on the atlas.
That's too bad.
My IG would just look like a fucking geography map because it'd be all over the place.
Yeah, I definitely travel a lot too.
That's what I would do. But this is crazy though, the whole sex ring thing.
Yeah, you're gonna be alright though.
Definitely.
It's happening in the off season, so nobody's gonna remember when the season starts.
Did you guys watch Shark Tank?
Do I watch
Shark Tank?
Yeah,
I've seen it. Yeah,
I haven't seen it recently, but
you know guy Richard Branson?
Yeah. Virgin Mobile,
billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching an episode yesterday, and like being a billionaire is just it's stupid. Like it's a section of money that like you don't even understand to think about. Like to comprehend even $1 billion is silly. When your net worth is like $5 billion, it's just
a billion is what? Is it
999,909 like
it's Tasio Looney
is $1 billion. Then you do that again. It's like stupid. Anyways, someone came in with this idea. All the sharks are like, nah, not buy the blah blah, and the guy was like almost crying, right? Super sad. He's like, came in for a deal, whatever. I think he wanted $175,000 or something, right?
That's Disney dollars to them.
literally.
All the sharks are like, nah, I'm not really trying to invest in that, blah blah. Richard Branson's one of the guests for this one, right? And he's like, you know what? The guy's like looking. He's like, Richard, you are you down? He's like, I'll give you exactly what you asked for. I'll give you the exact, percentage that you want. Like if you want 10%, 175, 10%, and I'll take a $1 royalty as well, and everything I make on the royalty will go to charity. Yeah, that was the deal he gave him. Yeah, the man said I want no profit.
Just everything.
He's just like, I'm just gonna help you.
Yeah,
like what you need 175 racks. I'll give you what you wanted. Yeah, everything I make just goes to charity. Like this, it's like. I don't even care about that.
Right.
It's I don't even care about your business. I just hope it helps.
I'm just doing this for the karma today.
Literally for the karma.
Yeah.
I hope you do well. Everything I make will go to some charity. See ya. And I'm like,
yo, the thing, you don't even have to be a billionaire. Like, you can be a several over millionaire.
Yeah.
The same guy I was showing you. Some guy.
Cool. Get together, tell him this story.
So this because similar shit happened. So there's a guy who a company that used to sell the company I work for some material went out to see him. You know when you meet somebody and you have an interaction with them, you don't know anything else about them. You've never been through social media. You never heard any, like you maybe heard some stories about them, but you just meet them, have a cool interaction with them. You know them from just that meeting. Right. That's all I knew. How I knew this guy. He owned this company. And,
like a business person.
Yeah, he's a businessman. He owns a company. All right, whatever. It's like any other regular business. Yeah. Only thing that was different about him was he was like a super grungy type business guy where went to a conference. This guy was just wearing like one of those tap out shirts and some jeans where everybody's dressed up in like suits. He's always like one of those.
You didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, so it's like in your head, like, okay, you see that? You got money if you're just gonna move around like this. Yeah. But I don't understand the type of money he had. he's from a small ass area, and then I randomly found this guy's Instagram page. He's an old guy, but he owns that company, but he's also invested over time in restaurants.
Wait, he owns the company that you're at? For the
not the company I'm
conference?
at. It's
Okay.
the company that like sold material to us.
Okay.
But he also owns a bunch of real estate. He owns a bunch of restaurants. He grew up with John Bones Jones, the UFC fighter.
Okay.
So he has his private jet. He's
Oh,
flying.
that's why he's doing the Tapo shit.
I think he was just like used to fight or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's flying
Supporter,
to the Super Bowl on a private jet with like Adam Jones and John Bones Jones. He's flying courtside to watch the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
This guy, when Duke played Syracuse back in January, he goes on his social media. He's like, "Yo, if Syracuse beat Duke, Zion Williams, RJ Barrett, they lost one game at a time. He's like, yo, if Syracuse beats Duke, because he's from that Syracuse area, Syracuse beats Duke, I'll donate $175,000. Of course, Syracuse beats to charity, to any charities that you guys say. Yeah. Of course, Syracuse beats Duke, and he's like, all right, well, here you go. And just, to be able to just say that and then cough up $175,000, like it's just, hey, here.
Yeah, I said it.
Hey, here you go. I'm just like, and you know when you say something, when you're like on your Instagram, you're like, yo, ask me a question.
Yeah.
Now imagine you saying, ask me a question is, yeah, I'm gonna just donate $175,000, just like that.
That's
like
fun.
that's the type of wealth like these kind of guys have. It's
So
nuts.
It makes me think sometimes. It's like money, like I hate talking about money like this because it's like it seems so foreign. Like it just like
Well, dog,
I talking about it. It just like it seems so beyond us because we've never seen anything like that.
Well, I always
like it's just like that's the whole that's the biggest reason why you should never compare in life and be like, I have this versus this guy. I had this, because it's like you'll never attain anything if you're trying to compare it to like such like ridiculous things.
Well, money is such a like money itself is a very weird concept, right? Like how we just kind of value it, because before it used to be the gold standard, right?
Yep.
And now we're just printing paper. But I always reference what Joe Rogan said, how he's like, when you're broke as fuck and you want to buy some shit, you mentally in your head do the math. You're like, okay, if I can buy this $2,000 laptop, it means I might not be able to buy this month.
Right.
But
as soon sacrificing.
As soon as you get rich, like you don't think about those things anymore. And like the crazy thing is the difference between having something like, let's just say 30 million and 50 million.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to you. Like unless you're like someone who's like trying to, it doesn't matter because that's a level of money in your account that will just never be depleted unless you're like you got some type of
I have 20 million a year. You're like this.
That's whatever.
We're both,
you know what I mean? So
like,
I couldn't. I mean, hopefully, one of us gets that money. But it's like I couldn't fathom having that money right now. Probably because I'm broke. Like thinking about that. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I feel like part of me would go a little bit crazy if I
absolutely think they do go crazy.
Yeah,
that's why these NBA players and celebrities and stuff, when they fucking blow up, and it's like you're now a millionaire tomorrow.
Well,
they lose their mind.
Well, this is the crazy thing, right? Because you talk about NBA athletes; these are typically kids who come from low income houses. Unless you're someone like a Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, who
like your parent was already rich,
like that, it's very different, and they played in places like the suburbs and stuff like that, right? So it's very different. Then you think about those people who are born into rich families. Those people are also just as equally fucked up. Yeah. Some of them, right? Because they
never experienced anything else.
They literally don't know anything other than like the highest of the high. Yeah. So who is really equipped to become rich?
I know.
Like who is, if you really think about, like in order to go from being broke to become rich and to not go crazy all the time, right? Because you're gonna have lapses, right? But to not go crazy, you have to be like on some next level. You have to have a team around you, because there's gonna be moments where you look back when you're rich and be like, yo, I really spent $1 million on that party.
You're like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, I didn't even have $1 million 10 years ago. Like,
what was I doing?
What was I doing?
Because I think about that all the time. I think about if I came into a fuckload of money, I know for a fact, I would do reckless shit for that first month.
just because you're excited.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're just
Yo,
excited.
Right.
Like,
I said so many times. One of the first things I would do
people
is
lie.
I would go to my.
I would admit, you're lying.
Right.
Honestly,
I said so many times.
Kids are excited.
I would go to my boys, and I would go to like my homegirls, like Amanda and shit, and I'd be like,
let's all cut.
Like, how much is it gonna cost for you to quit your job right now?
Yeah.
How much are you making a year? I'll pay you that, and then I'll give you fucking. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because I can't do this by myself.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You leave me with money by myself. What's bound to happen is you start surrounding yourself with people who also have money, but their lifestyles were different. So you try to like keep up with them.
Right.
And then now you're fucked, right? Because
Because
you realize
it's a catch-up game. Like, they've been used to this.
they've been used to this, or I'm still the broke one in this rich group.
Right.
Broke one. Like,
or you might be okay, like you might be content with your 1 million, but those people they grew up bad. They're not content with their 30 million.
Right.
So they're doing reckless shit, and now it's being imposed on you.
Yep.
So you just start falling into that trap.
You
need that team around.
Have you guys watched that movie Crazy Rich Asians?
Nah.
no.
I watched it last
I heard
night.
it was trash. It's good.
Really? I thought it was really good.
Really?
I watched it last night. I heard a lot of good reviews about it. Then I watched it. It was online, so I watched it. And they basically broke down in the movie,
Like the lifestyle being rich?
not just the lifestyle, but Singapore in general. You probably know about it, but like when there were a lot of, like, you know how we talked about old money?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is when people left China, people went all across the world and like started their own businesses, and that's how people got rich, right? Like new money. But there were some people who left China and went to this fucking tiny little jungle, which is now known as Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I know, Singapore is part of it's part of China, but it's not at the same time. Like it's its own autonomous country because they're so fucking rich that they look at China and they're like, okay, we're part of this country, but we're really not.
It's
like you
not
guys,
like the classism.
you guys can't control us because we have all this money. Like they literally turned a jungle into like this giant metropolis.
Wakanda.
It's no, dead ass. It's kind of like the Wakanda for Chinese people, right? And yes, it was a movie, but then I did some research, like looking to see what these families are like, and these people are so rich that they look at other rich people like they're poor, bro.
That's nuts.
Like they really do. Like
that. That's poor rich.
like they're asking this girl.
Poor rich.
They're asking this girl in this movie. Her last name is Chu or something like that, right? Her main chick is named Rachel Chu, and one of the cousins, he's part of this rich ass family. He's like, which Chu family are you from? Like he's trying to figure out, like, is she?
Are you the broke Chu? The rich Chu?
No, that's he's like, are you the instant noodles Chu? Like who created that whole company? Are you like the craft Chu? Like he's naming all these families, and she's none of them, right? And he's like, which Chu? He's like, which Chu are you? Like which one?
Yeah.
She leaves, and at that point you're like, yo, these people are so disgustingly rich. It is fucked up, and part of it was based on real shit. Like this bachelor party was born. It was the bachelor party was in international waters, bro. Wow. They got a freight, like one of those giant, you know, those oil like giant freight ships.
Yeah.
They got one of those and converted it into like a party thing because it was in international waters and they could do whatever they wanted.
Free. Like
that's another level of rich that you could like never see.
Yeah.
I think I would go crazy just trying to like experience one of those things. Yeah. What do you do?
Oh my god, man.
What do you do at that point when you're that rich?
And then it's like,
you guys get rich tomorrow. You guys get rich tomorrow, right? Are you still staying in Toronto? Like, what's the first thing you're doing?
No.
You get not a billion. Let's say you get $20 million, right? 20 mil.
I'm not here.
What is the very first thing you're doing? Not like, you know, paying off your parents' shit, like blah blah blah. What's the very first thing you're doing for yourself?
20 million?
Yeah.
OSAP gone. Because I still pay OSAP. Gone. Credit card gone. Little bill stuff that's gone. Now I know I have no debt anymore because
you're not tied to anyone. Like what's
nothing.
What's the first thing you're doing?
Okay, this is different. Is that all I have, or like am I getting more money? Like,
yeah, because you win 20 million. Let's just say you know that you're gonna make investments to make more money.
But you only have 20 million.
Right now you have 20 million. You open up your bank account and there's a bunch of fucking zeros, right?
Which means if you burn it all, it's gone.
Okay.
So I'm paying off my bills, which is not 20 million.
Yeah.
So those are gone. And I'm probably knowing myself, I'm probably moving to LA. Probably moving to something affordable though. Nothing stupid. Not to be downtown LA. Like just a nice loft, maybe a nice place in LA. Set it up how I want to. Start my photography company, and whatever happens with the rest happens.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do 20 miles. I'm probably buying property, like multiple properties. Yeah. That's where I'm going. That's what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm doing anything. I'm too sane right now in my head, I think. Like, you give me 20 million, I see 20 mil, it might be different.
You're not gonna do wild shit.
Yeah. I feel like 20 million is a lot of money, but it's not. That can disappear pretty quick. If you start spending like
20 million.
If you start spending like you have 20 mil, you're gonna lose.
Okay, but think of
million.
it this way, right? Because I know if I get $20 million, I know for a fact I'm allocating $1 million
to fuck shit.
To literally whatever I want. Like
at least one is gone.
1 million, I'm
gone.
1 million I'm taking.
Yeah, we're probably all gone.
Because if I get 20 million, to be completely honest, I'm gonna give my mom and dad some of that money. They're not getting a lot. They're not getting
something.
But I'm basically paying my parents off.
Yeah.
And then that's what it is. I'm paying them off.
Yo, this is for you. I don't want to hear shit.
I don't want to hear my choices after this.
I don't want to hear a thing. Nothing.
I don't want to hear no choices after this. Mommy, I know you've always wanted to go here.
Go.
There's all the money. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Right? I'm taking $1 million, and that is allocated to fuck shit. Right?
Just play.
That is like... $1 million is a. If I'm thinking
the way, lot to play
if I'm thinking the way that I am right now, right?
And the shit you're doing with less.
Yeah, that's.
If I have $1 million,
the shit you're doing with less, give you $100,000. You're having more fun. You're having right now.
If I mean, bro, that's true. George, prime example, right? I don't know if you know him. He grew up in Saga too. Do you know George Busalis?
I don't think so.
You know Yanni? Remember Yanni?
Yeah.
His older brother.
Okay.
Right? So he lived on King West, right? And then he ended up selling his condo for like a lot more than he was asking for. Like a stupid amount more. So he just went traveling for a full year with all that money. And I remember before he left, they were just partying all the time at Lost and Found.
Yeah, it was blowing money.
Yeah,
fam, and like, yo, like I'll never forget. Yo, I'm not even fronting. One of the drunkest times I have ever been in my life.
Bottles.
It was at that party at Lost and Found. Chris, you came to me with one of them, right? Fam, like, and I'm sitting there thinking, this isn't even
like he's not even rich.
They're not even rich, and I'm experiencing something that is like so far out of my tax bracket right now that this is unbelievable.
Like, this is kind of foolishness. Like that's one of the times when I mans are gone.
This is when you know a man just
is that me? Who's that?
Mans are gone in that.
Oh my God, bro.
I don't like the guy who's laying across. I don't even know his name.
Yeah, but you're holding it.
But he's on top of me.
You're like, I'm holding it. I'll hold you,
bro. Yeah. Like, and that's not them being rich.
Yeah.
So if I have $1 million, I already know in my head, I'm like, 20 racks is going to that.
Yeah.
50 racks is going to that. I could
understand that 50 racks is still not breaking 100K.
Yeah.
I could realistically with $1 million. I could realistically with $1 million pay all my friends to quit their jobs.
Like a good salary.
A good salary. Right. I could be able to listen. Because I know for whatever I'm giving them would be more than what they're going to make at their job in that
year. The thing is, how long...
I know, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's
or what I would do... Part of what I would do, honestly, if I had a lot of money...
You have to literally be like, I will give you a 5-year salary. If you're okay to take 5 years off and go back to what you feel after, at least
not even
in
that.
A better position.
Not even that. Not even just like, I'm going to give you 5 years off. I'll just be like, look, I'll pay you for the year to quit your fucking job. And whatever it is that you want to do
something you want to do.
I'll fund it.
Yeah.
Because I don't see whatever my friends need funded is not gonna be millions of dollars, right? Because whatever they get from the bank is.
I think that's the best. I think that's the best that you could do.
Because
quit your job and what do you feel like doing?
I'll put you in a position so that you can make this work, and it's up to you. Like if you wanna.
I think that's what's good. Like that's what a lot of athletes end up doing too. Like that's
friends,
why, So
and they get the companies.
They get it's like good and bad. When
you talk about LeBron and Rich Paul,
exactly. So when you got somebody like LeBron, that's exactly what he did. Not only Rich Paul, but like the other man who runs the security company, who's his main security guard, Maverick Carter, who ended up starting a whole media conglomerate. It's like, yo, put your friends in the position to create something better.
What, you want to do media? Be my media guy.
Exactly.
Done.
So, and then that helps you out, or that helps LeBron out, because now he's not entering territory where he's being influenced by all these other people who have money who are telling him to do stuff. It's like, nah, I'm sticking close.
My media guy will release what I want to come out.
But not even that, it's just like being around people who you know you can trust, who you came up with. They know where you're coming from, you know?
Yeah.
They know, all right, yo, remember when you had nothing. Just they keep you.
And you know what's crazy about, like, I don't know everyone else's friendships, but like just even ours is between like my cousins and some of my good friends, like some of my teammates, it's more like we all do different things that as the conglomerate, we have everything.
Yeah.
Like, you understand, like, I have a friend who's in law. I have a girl I know who's a lawyer. I have my cousin who's a basketball coach. She does stuff with the NBA. Yeah. I have another one my other cousin does marketing stuff. Yeah. He also does photography, videography like me. You do your media and you do your
money.
Your finance.
You know how many times I've said
I'm accounting for
like, it's like if I said to Chris, if I
would have to leave a circle.
It's true.
Let's just say in a random world, right? I became like a professional athlete. I would tell Chris to handle my money.
Yeah. Yo, I think
because I'm like, the day you told me how much money you had to deal with at such a young age at your job, I'm like, I can trust this guy.
Yeah. Yo, I think that's a big issue. Like it's I'm gonna say an issue per se, but like I think that's what's wrong with like a lot of our young people's attitudes right now. It's because when we hit our age, everybody's like super hyper competitive. Like I was having this conversation with my other boys
against each other.
Is that cool? Oh, my bad. Yeah, like everybody's hyper competitive. Like I went to university, did 4 years university, and when everybody's in the same program, it was like you didn't always have everybody studying together or trying to make each other better.
We're all trying to get out of this class, right?
Yo, everybody was like, I'm gonna hide what I'm doing. Everybody's trying to be, yo, oh, you got this grade. I want this grade better. Oh, you're gonna go here after. I want to get a better job than you. Yeah. Oh, you're doing your MBA. I'm gonna do this. It's like everybody's hyper competitive and wants to get to the end route by themselves. But what you just said is so true. When you got somebody who's a lawyer, somebody who does film, somebody who does photography, somebody who's in finance, and you can build your own team, man, the possibilities are endless, bro. Possibilities are completely endless.
Well, what people are trying to do now is just it's the broken mentality we've been talking about for so long. It's like instead of finding ways for you in finance to do better and grow your client base, they're like, I know I'm not good at finance, but instead of me using him, I'm just gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Man.
And
you're like,
I hate that mentality.
Just go to him. It's like, but then I have to pay him. Well, that's. But he's gonna do a better job because he does this, and you know the person
exactly.
Like it's not like you're just hiring a random person. Right. It's like, but it bothers you so much that you have to share your successes with people that you know. Just because it's taking a piece of the pie from you, when really, if you change your mentality, it's like, if me and you together can make 100 grand, or I can make 40 by myself,
what makes more sense?
Yeah, but I have to give you 50.
Yeah,
but you only made 40 alone.
Yeah,
but then I'm giving Chris 50. But that 50 doesn't exist for you.
That person wasn't there.
So like, the money's not yours. Like I don't understand. Like you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I made 100. You guys made 100 grand, which in turn you made an extra 10 with his help, and you also benefited. So that next year you could probably go for 2. No, I'm gonna keep doing 40 every year.
So that makes 0 sense, man.
It's like, hey,
it makes 0 sense.
All right, like, okay. You do 40, you do 40. Yeah. So we're between both of us making 80 individually.
Right. When we could be making more money together.
I don't get it, man. Like,
it takes time for people to realize that working with other people will set you up for success. Because at the end of the day, say I wanted to make a video, right?
Yeah.
Why not, pay Ryan to do the video for me, and I know it's gonna get done properly because I've seen his work, and it's gonna take him less time to do something that it's gonna take me more time to either learn.
Yeah.
It's gonna cost me I'm gonna probably go down different avenues where it's gonna cost me more. It's gonna not turn out as good because it's gonna be like something I'm attempting where I'm not a professional at.
Yeah.
Pay the expert to do something, and then when everybody's an expert in something, then you guys build something bigger. I don't see why people like. I don't know. That's just I hate that mentality, bro.
I saw
hate that
Josh
mentality.
say it actually. He was like, people think like video work and all that shit is expensive. He's like, go to an amateur first, then you'll realize how expensive it really is.
Literally.
Right? Because you're gonna have to pay both anyway.
Yeah.
Literally.
If you get someone cheaper to do it, you're gonna be like, "Fuck, this isn't it."
Yeah.
So now I need to pay more.
Yeah.
Not what
To
you
get
want.
done by a professional. So
I think that's what's wrong with social media. Everybody looks on social media trying to compare themselves to other people. So they think, oh man, that person has it. I'm gonna get it myself and show the world that I have it by myself.
By myself. Like, what
Stupid mentality.
there's no pride in that. There's no accolade for doing things by yourself. Like, there's never been, of all the people, the famous, rich, whatever people in the world, there's never been this accolade where someone's like, yo, you got here by yourself, yo? Really? Yo.
Nobody's done that.
And they're like, sick. Like,
and not even the
like,
rich, and,
but
not
like-
even like the rich and famous. When somebody runs their own, if somebody's running their own media company right
Yeah.
now, I guarantee you, look at them. They did not get to that part
not.
by themselves. I promise you that.
but
Promise you that.
and let's say they did. And like,
Yeah.
no one goes,
And-
yo, you did this by yourself? Yeah. Yo,
Sick, bro.
Sick.
Yeah.
So
Fucking
now,
sick.
So now what? You're gonna hire people? Yeah. So you're gonna need them now, though, right?
So you need some help? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't want to help you because you shat on me years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm glad you're here though. Like, you have no friends though, but like,
it's cool.
Yeah, for
I'm
real.
glad you're doing what you're doing by
For real.
yourself. Nobody likes you though, but you know what though?
Good for you, buddy.
Sick,
Good for
bro.
you.
Yo,
Fucking sick. Sick.
that's sick. Like,
Yo, like that's me and
like it's,
me and Keanu.
like, is that what they
talking about
want?
this.
Like,
I don't know, man. I don't
Me and
get it.
Keanu were talking about this because I think I had some rant a while ago on my IG about like your circle and stuff like that.
yeah.
And she was basically saying, like, you know, by the time you get to age 30, you like your circle is already kind of defined at that, or it should be. So when I think about coming into a lot of money and then getting new friends at this age, that sounds so foreign to me because
Making new friends.
no, it does
Yeah, I
though,
know, like-
right? Because the friends that I have now
I'm
are,
gonna go meet the man right now.
Yeah.
Be like, yo, let me tell you all my secrets.
you know what I mean? Like,
Oh my-
what? Doesn't that
Yo,
sound
you-
crazy?
yo, you wanna know some stuff?
You wanna know some stuff?
Let me tell you all my personal shit.
You wanna know some
Oh,
stuff?
you're 32? Let me disclose everything about my personal life.
God.
Yo, I broke up with a lot of girls in the past.
Oh man, people are like that though. You know, people are.
That's
actually
crazy,
Like
man.
it, so yeah.
It's actually no. Think about it. It's actually kind of crazy. Not even being rich. Like taking you meet unless I meet you at work.
Yeah.
I don't think I really need to meet brand new people and know everything about. Unless there has to be something that we're doing together or something like
To
that.
really go that deep. to
Otherwise,
find
I'm
out.
not going out to meet new people. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I know exactly.
Because
what
you're
you mean.
already set in your ways. Like for the most part, your circle's already defined. They define you. You define them.
And there's too much. There's like at this age and this time in their lives, there's too much bias that you can't avoid.
Yeah.
Like anyone that meets me now as MR.KOA,
Yeah.
I can't avoid it.
Yeah.
Like I can't avoid your bias. Even you're like, oh, I like what you're. You don't like. You don't even know my first name.
Yeah.
Like
It's true. Some people just know me as Top Boy. I'm like, shit.
I can't. Like I can't avoid that bias anymore. Like
Right,
I'm
right,
nowhere near famous. So imagine like
Yeah.
a celebrity trying to meet a regular person. For,
Right.
Like you Googled me already.
Yeah,
Like
you know everything about me.
No,
I
I
don't
just-
even know your name.
you know me.
and you know
Like,
everything about me.
You know I'm rich.
Yeah.
You're not rich.
How you guys? Okay, that's a different question too.
What?
We're jumping off. How is that? How is that feeling when you guys are walking and you're like you go out, you're doing something and somebody sees like, hey, MR.KOA or
Yeah.
hey, Top Boy, and that's how and like you have in your head like you post everything,
Right.
you like story everything.
Right.
And so everybody's like in your lives. You guys have the podcast. People are in your lives. They've seen your come up for however long.
Yeah.
How is that feeling of having people know so much about you and you don't even know their name?
I think I'm kind of already used to it because of basketball.
Okay.
So I feel like it hasn't been that I don't know for him.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that weird for me because I've always had a quote unquote fan base from sports. So like, cause my name, like if I have a good game, it goes through Mississauga or goes through whatever, and my name comes up, and you're like, oh, that's the guy from Arendelle. Like I had a 40-point game, like I'll come into schools and managers like, yo, that guy, like, so I already had that that interaction with people who don't know who I am but know of me,
right?
For different things. Like now it's photography stuff, but like when I'm in university, like I'm on the university team, so like there's stranger students that are like, oh, like you're number 6, like so I've been used to the strangers like, oh, like I see, you know, so it's not now it's kind of like they're really identifying me because like I have a brand now, so it's like, oh, you're MR.KOA, but it feels the same as the sports thing. It just feels like people have been following me, seeing what I'm doing, and they meet me in person, and it's kind of like, oh, like I've heard or I've seen. I just kind of I can anything I respect. I'm like, thank you guys, whatever. But it's not like, wow, like people really know me. Like I've kind of been like babied into it since high school and stuff, like getting unknown attention. You know what I'm saying?
Before you answer Z, but before it used to be like just sports, then it's like okay,
just sports, yes.
But now it's like your life. Yeah, like they know your relationships.
Yeah,
they know what your highs and your lows on because you document that. They know where you've been, where you're going, where you're at. Do you find situations where somebody comes up to you and is like, oh, how's Rhonda doing? Or oh man, like is she going back to Newfoundland or something like that? Or they're having intimate conversation. You don't know their name.
I think it kind of I'm not really. I don't let it surprise me because I feel like I don't do those things obliviously or impulsively. So I feel like the fact that that information's out there, I'm aware that these conversations may happen. So it's not like I've never been like, how do you know Ron? Like I'm just like, I quickly went like, they probably follow me, probably saw a story, probably listen to the podcast. So I'm just like, oh yeah, I just literally just like, yeah, she's like, I don't even know you, but I'm just assuming you already done whatever research. To be asking these questions right now, you've seen something. I don't know what it was, but I'm just like, they saw something, just roll with it, you know? Okay. So it hasn't been like, how do you know all these questions? And I'm like, I know what's out there circulating at some point. I had my YouTube channel before that. So like, I've had people talk about me about stories I saw on YouTube about like, failing in bed and shit. You want the failing in bed video I saw? It's like, I'm like, yeah. Like, so like, I know you've seen something that's out there, so it's not so uncomfortable, you know? All right, so it was Z, I'm not sure.
I mean, like, I never had it. I never experienced like anything you did, but when the social media stuff started kicking off, it was kind of weird. Like, it was weird when I'd be out and people would just be like, "Oh, are you Top Boy?" Like, those things would throw me off because I'd be like, "Oh, like I forget people actually know who I am." There was one day. Maybe it was like 2 months ago, I was out with Jamie and some man in his car that was driving by was like, he was yelling. He was like, "Hey, yo, Top Boy." And I had no clue who this man was. Like, I had no clue who it was. I looked at Jamie, I'm like, I don't even know who that was. Right? So some situations like that is funny. If anything, I find it funny more than anything because I'm just like, I know at the end of the day, I'm still just like a regular dude, but it kind of gives me a glimpse. Like a very like slight glimpse into what it must be like to be famous, right? Because I've never wanted to be famous. I've always wanted to be like rich as opposed to famous. Right. That guy that you just didn't know was rich.
Rich and silent.
Rich and silent.
Yeah.
But it makes me think, man, like if you're famous and you're completely aware of it, I totally understand like why some of these people probably go crazy, or they're just like
they're over it.
They're just tired, right? Because no matter what you do or where you go, someone always wants to talk to you because they know you and you know absolutely nothing about them.
Yeah, like I just don't want to have conversations anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. Yeah, so how's your next movie? Honestly,
I'm just trying to get my groceries.
And like that goes back to the whole trust thing. It's like you've established your biases, you've established your friend group, you've established your relationships, and now somebody who knows everything about you, it's like they're trying to talk to you for a reason because like they probably see something. Right. It could be positive because they just like respect what you're doing, they love what you're doing, and you show them some support. But then it could be the other thing.
The problem is you can't. It's too hard to determine the difference. Yeah. Like
how do you determine the difference?
I honestly don't know.
Don't know?
Like, I don't know. How would you determine genuine interaction?
Difference on being genuine or not?
I don't like. I feel like it gets so fuzzy. Like it gets so. It's
I saw this girl tweet some shit, and she was just like, "What was it? It's like stop talking to people for a little bit and see how many dead flowers you've been watering." Right? And I thought that was like pretty true because, like you said, how do you know who's genuine or not? There's some people I've met where I just stopped talking to them because I'm busy, and you realize like how quickly things disappear with that interaction. And I think it comes down to like what can I do for you? Is that why you're keeping me around?
What have you done for me lately?
Like, what have you done for me lately? And I think because of what we do, like as a job on a regular basis, I think that has a lot to do with why it's so easy for me to not look at people as being genuine. Because I think sometimes there's an ulterior motive. It's at this age, I feel like you just kind of have to show me a lot for me to truly believe you're being genuine with your actions.
Right.
Because like I said before, I'm at a point in my life where I'm not really interested in going out to make new friends. Right? Like I have new...
You'll make connections.
I'll make connections, but I have friends now who understand they may not hear from me for like 2 weeks.
And that's fine.
But it's probably because I'm busy or I'm working. It's not because I have some personal vendetta against them.
Never.
Right? Like Xavier, for example, I haven't seen X in like a year.
Yeah.
Right? Since my last birthday or some other shit. It's been a year, but we talk in the group chat or like on and off.
Yeah.
But it's not like things are ever wrong. But I know for a fact there's some people, girls in particular, where if you go, 2 weeks.
Mostly girls.
If you go 2 weeks without talking to them, it's like an issue. It's
she
like
hates me now. It's like I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I have things to do. Like I don't care. You know what I mean? So.
Do you think that limits you guys from? Okay, so you kind of look for a person to be genuine. You think that limits you guys in being able? No, I guess you think it limits you guys in being able to work with new people. Because you guys are establishing your ways. You guys know what you're trying to create.
What limits us?
Do you think the fact that you don't know whether or not somebody is genuine or whether or not they're there to use you in a sense?
Right.
Do you think that limits you from being able to work with new people?
Here's the thing. Like if it's a company reaching out to me, I don't give a fuck.
I don't care.
I'm not thinking like, are they being genuine or not? Because I know they're a company. I know they're gonna cut me the check.
Gotcha.
But if it's like someone reaching out to me on IG,
link and build.
Yeah, that is like a very different.
We need to collab.
We need to connect, bro.
Collab.
Let's collab. Like, any of those hot keywords that you see are all signs that you need to just get the fuck out of my DM, bro. Someone DM me the other day, like saying, "Yo, I want to make this sick video, blah blah blah." No budget. I'm like, okay. Like, all right.
I don't have a budget though.
Cool. I'm like, cool. Like, what do you think I'm doing this shit for, bro? Like, you see me posting shit on my gram where it says I'm doing shit for Foot Locker or Nike. You think they didn't pay me? Fuck out of here. Don't come to me with this shit. I know it sounds like kind of like egotistical or like arrogant, but at the same time, it's like,
level.
I will tell people, like, I'm at a point now where I just cannot do things for free.
Right.
Unless you want. Unless I come to you.
Yes, unless I come to you.
I come to you and say, yo, Chris, I need something for this video. Can you just be this? I'm literally just for myself.
Yeah.
Can you just be in it? You're not paying me because that's my idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, but
otherwise,
don't hit me up and be like, yo, so can I just can we just have this like a video like I'll tag you though.
Yeah.
I'll tag you and I'll tell my friends about you and thing.
Shut up.
My friends about you and thing.
It's like, yeah? Okay.
Say word.
Yeah. Your friends, huh?
Say word.
I can tell this is a real conversation. Having somewhere so funny part.
Of course it is.
Oh,
your friends,
God.
Okay. Nice.
The amount of fuck we have dealt with.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell your friends. I don't even know your friends.
I don't know your friends.
Who are you friends with? LeBron James?
Like, who are your friends?
Oh, okay.
I go to your page and it's full of memes. Like, all right.
I got some big names I'd like to introduce you to.
Big names.
I was there for that call.
Oh my, big names. Someone said big names.
Yeah, what are the big names?
I'll be shooting some big names in the industry.
What's the names of the industry? What's the industry?
They didn't give me any names. Who's big to you?
Who's the big names?
I don't know.
After did they hit you with some comma? Like,
just got some big names coming up in the future. Say the name then. Say Aubrey Graham.
Did you ask what names?
No, I said cool, straight, dope. All right. How many times I give? If you go to my phone right now,
oh my God,
I don't know how many conversations end with me saying "sounds good."
Sounds good. Cool.
And it goes nowhere, Chris.
Quiet after that.
My response is "sounds good," because they just give me a whole bunch of foolishness.
Yeah.
And it's I'm blah blah blah. I'm gonna do this, and I love to do this for this, and I just go "sounds good."
Yeah.
Because it does sound good.
Yeah. But what's gonna materialize?
So
what's real?
I feel like "sounds good" is the best response because I'm like, I just want you to know everything you said
Sounds good. That's a good response.
It
still.
sounds really good.
Those
Those
two words are great.
word
Sounds
for
good.
word sounded so good, Chris.
No, don't you be like, yes, that's
But-
a great way to ask the person.
But is anything gonna happen? Has it happened? No. And the next time you go back to that conversation, you're gonna see everything you said, and I said it sounded good. I didn't say anything wrong. It sounded like the last thing I said was it sounded good.
Yeah.
And you've done nothing since that conversation. So you have to follow up with nothing more, not more things that sound good. Like, what's the next step?
Yeah,
now?
exactly.
Right. I never ignore anything. I think that's important too. Like, I know you've ignored some stuff. I personally, I'm more on the. I respond as much as possible.
Okay.
And I always give. I always give the last word,
Yeah.
so that anything happens after this. When I know if you come back to this conversation, you know you didn't do something.
The hilarious thing,
Like
about
that's
what
just
Ryan is
that's
saying-
for me.
That's good.
I'm gonna
Like-
tell you right now. Look,
Go ahead.
when we talk about perceptions and all this shit,
Yeah.
I think people really would believe that out of the two of us, Ryan would be the person to leave people on red.
Yo, they didn't know you guys? Yeah, yo, definitely.
Right?
They didn't know-
Yeah.
yeah,
Like-
yeah, definitely.
I'm not though.
Definitely.
Yo, I leave.
Ryan don't
bare-
respond.
I'll leave
Ryan don't
bare-
respond to everything.
I respond to
yeah.
everything so
Yeah.
that you know that you didn't do something.
here.
I leave bare people on red.
Yeah.
Not like off first
Yeah,
comment.
just
Like,
like-
I'll talk to them,
Yeah.
and as soon as they hit me with some foolishness,
It's like,
and I leave,
Just checks out.
I leave that red so they know that they need to reevaluate something going on.
You didn't respond to that. Let me see what I said to him. Will you shoot for free?
oh, that probably, I understand why you didn't
I
respond.
guess he doesn't.
doesn't shoot for free.
Okay.
I guess he doesn't. Like, I don't know. Maybe I do think honestly I need to get better at that. Like, not just leaving people on red. But I'm just. It depends on who it is, bro. Like, I'm very tired of dealing with people who talk a big game and then they come to me with some foolishness. I'm just
I feel like my solution for that, like, I don't like that shit either. But I feel like by responding, because we're all adults, it's like there's a certain like, and since we're both articulate as well, there's a certain way to respond to things where it's not rude, but it still shows your disapproval of what they said.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But and because you responded, it's you acknowledging how stupid that was.
Yeah.
So for me, like that's how I am.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like if someone's like, oh, you know, this is my budget. This is, you know, I don't have much money for this or whatever, or I want to get this whole movie completed, but I only have $200, whatever, like one of those type of setups. I literally respond with, you know what, that sounds like a great plan. That's, you know, that sounds like, I love how that sounds. It could be great. I can definitely do that for you. Unfortunately, my budget is X.
Yeah.
That's my response.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh, I only have 2. No worries. Like, that's cool. My budget's this, though. Because then it's like, there's no debate. It's not.
it's
It's
black
not.
and
It's
white.
not saying your idea is bad. It's not saying I won't do it. Because I will listen. I will do it. Trust me. I'll do it.
Yeah.
But this is the price.
Yeah.
I will definitely do your work.
Yeah.
Anything you tell me you want, it can get done.
I can do it.
It
Yeah.
can all get done. All of that you listed will definitely get done for this price.
Yeah.
Oh, I only have 200. No worries. Whenever you have this, we'll get that all done for you. And that, like, I leave it so like it's doable.
It's open.
Of course, it's doable.
Yeah.
Can we do this? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. For this price. And then
You're a funny guy, right? You're a funny guy. Like, I feel you.
But I
feel
think I feel like that's the best way because then it's like
No, I hear you, but this is my problem with
What?
people when they typically approach me, right? I would say 9 times out of 10, the reason why I don't entertain the conversation past that is because they have done a poor job on selling me
Right.
as to why they need me for this.
Okay.
Right? So I'm not opposed to doing shit for free if I truly believe that whatever the end product
It's mutually
is
beneficial.
mutually beneficial, right?
You're not
Like,
running,
for
you're
example-
not running away with products
Yeah.
and I just
Like
you
for
just used me.
Yeah.
like for example, let's say the guys from Sunday school hit me up, right? Which they have before, and they're like, "We need help for this," and they didn't have a budget, but they were able to carefully lay out like, "This is what we're doing the video for. This is why." Like, this is where it's gonna go afterwards, blah 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 blah, I'm more likely to like entertain that conversation and then probably say like, yeah, I can do it because I see the vision of where this is going.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, it's a man in my DM who's just like, yo, I'm trying to work on this sick video, fam. Like, I don't got this budget, but like, this is what I'm thinking, right? So you're already and probably just because I worked in a corporate environment,
Right.
I'm having a hard time like disassociating my professionalism for it. And it's like, okay, like even if you emailed me in a professional way, I feel like you're still not selling me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think because I've been on that other side, like you have to, when you're starting up, you don't have money, right? So you're funding a lot of this shit yourself. So I get that struggle, but you need to do a better job of selling your vision of what, because that's what it is your vision. So if you approach me with a shitty way of doing it, that clearly tells me you don't give a fuck about what it is you're actually doing. You don't even have a plan. You don't really value what it is that you're doing, right? So how am I supposed to value it? How am I supposed to give you like A1 products for this B+ project? You know what I mean? So
no, I agree.
You know, but
I mean, you can still tell them.
I know. I can still tell them. I still tell them, but it's like it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like it comes down to the person a lot of the time. I read people quickly. I look at their profile. I see what they're about, and it's like that.
Who am I to tell you how to respond to DMs? Yeah. To be honest, I barely even respond to DMs. Like if someone's DMing me, I just MrKOA.com.
Yeah.
How much your price is MrKOA.com?
That's what you done.
Do you MrKOA.com? Like I didn't take my fucking weeks and days
building
to
site.
Build a website and write all the information for you to keep asking me questions in my DM.
Go to the website.
All the questions that you're asking are there. Yeah, but how much is MrKOA.com? Because like you're basically just like you because you're lazy.
Yeah.
You're lazy,
Yeah.
and if you're lazy, then there's no conversation right here because I wasn't lazy to do all that.
Yeah.
And I'm not lazy when I'm doing your job.
Yeah.
So you can go find out the questions you're asking. Period. Like I barely do DM combos.
Yeah.
It's just we're in an era where DMing is instant and it's fine, but there's still a business to this shit. Like there's photographers that are like, yo, DM me. Like you can do business like that. That's cool. Like don't DM me. Like if you're DMing me, you're DMing about something in my story. You're responding to it, or you're like you send me a picture. You're like, oh, it's really cool. I'm looking for something, and I go, cool. Here, go here, or hey, send me email with what you're looking for. Because I don't want to document through my DM. It's not how like.
It's not how I conduct business.
It's not business. You might not use email, but you have one, so use it. If the only email you send is to me, hey
man, do it.
Then you're gonna have to do it.
Do it.
Makes sense. Demand more from other people. You know what I'm saying?
Very right, my friend.
But
100% true.
You had some questions for us throughout the episode, but is there anything else you wanted to ask us before you wrap up?
Not off top of my head.
No. Actually, did we even? What was one of our questions from the timetable that I made?
Oh shit.
We didn't address that. We just pull one out if we have one.
Yeah. So one of our topics from the previous week that we didn't get a chance to get to was talking about entrepreneurship, and specifically saying that everyone cannot be an entrepreneur. Instagram lies to people, right? I think the first person that comes to mind for me is thinking about a lot of motivational speakers, or like someone like Gary Vee, for example. The weird thing about Gary Vee is that he literally tells people though that not everyone can do this. But I think people get so caught up in his clips that they don't realize that he's literally talking to you saying like, you cannot do this if you don't like sacrifice some shit.
Right. A lot of shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because I think we talked about it in the previous episode, but one of the things that I told people when they get into entrepreneurship is, you know, one of their biggest struggles is quitting that 9 to 5 to do it. But it's like, okay, if you quit that 9 to 5, what do you have as a backup, or are you willing to work somewhere else while you're still working on like your passion, like your dream, to get to what you're doing, right? I referenced the fact that like I would bartend while in the beginning because I was like, you know, it didn't interfere with what I wanted to do, but I felt no ways about doing that. I think because of Instagram and like social media, too many people look at it and they don't want people to perceive them a certain way, like a step down. Like, you know, I know for a fact there are people who work a 9 to 5, and if they were to quit to work on their passion, and then you see them at like a bar working, they might feel some type of way about that. They might be embarrassed, and I'm just like, I wouldn't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't care about that shit because I'm just like, yo,
bigger
I'm
picture.
working. It's the bigger picture that you're working towards.
Do you feel like do you feel that? Well, I personally think that entrepreneurship has become commercialized, but also like almost a trend. Like
That's 100% a valid point.
you know what I mean? I feel like
I don't think a lot of people know exactly what entrepreneurship is.
no, or being a business person or running a business.
Yeah.
Because I think people like it's literally become cool. Like it's become cool because let's say maybe 6 years ago, maybe 2013, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
If you're someone that said I work for myself, people would be like, oh, you work for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wouldn't be like, oh wow, it'd be like, oh yeah, I'm self-employed. They'd be like, okay, like
Right.
you know what I mean? I feel like that was a stigma, like
For younger people,
for
especially.
younger people,
Yeah.
especially if someone's like, well, what do you do for a living? It's like, oh, I'm self-employed. It's like, oh, okay,
Oh, so you're broke.
like exactly. It's like, oh, how's that going for you? Rather than like, oh, you work for yourself. Like now, I feel like it's like you work for yourself. Like it's almost like it's become like the goal now. You know what I mean? Like even though it's not it's not the goal for everybody. It's not everyone's goal.
Fam, because here's the thing, like we talked about this whole gig economy, right? Where like a lot of people our age are leaving traditional jobs to get into this industry. And I find it funny when people I know who work 9 to 5s or office, corporate, whatever, they're just like, man, like I wish I could do that, blah, blah. I'm like, sometimes I'm thinking, I don't know if you really do wish you could do that. Because
all the time to do it.
Because look, working like freelancing, being your own boss, whatever it is you want to call it, really is not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It really is not. Fortunately, I don't think this shit, like I've only been doing it for less than 2 years, but I do not believe that it has taken years off my life, right? But I can fully see how it could, because the truth of the matter is, I can look at someone who works a 9 to 5 and say to them, look, they'll be like, man, I wish I could do that, blah, blah. I could say to them, are you okay with not having like coverage, like health insurance, like all this shit? Like these are things I have to cover for myself, or I have to pay, like I have to pay fucking Desjardins or whoever it is per month to do this, right? It's not part of my job shit. Sure, I get technically unlimited vacation time. I can do whatever the fuck I want, but it's like there are comfort things that come with having 9 to 5 that
you now lose.
That you lose if you decide to become a freelance person. And I feel like it's my responsibility to tell people who want to get into that industry. I have to tell them that, because otherwise I'd be lying to them. I'd be putting out bad karma for myself by not telling them.
Do it, yeah, go for it.
Do it, man. No, don't do it unless you know for a fact. Like, this is what you want.
It's the truth.
Because the truth is, I think I read some stat where it's like, most people who truthfully start their own business, not necessarily like what Ryan and I do, but their own business, they don't turn a profit until like 2-3 years in, right? Because you shouldn't even be paying yourself.
You're already gonna fail as a business within the first 3 years,
right? You shouldn't even be paying yourself, like all these things. And those are things where you have to say to yourself, like, can I really do this?
Yeah. And there's like you said, like you guys are speaking to, I think a lot of people might reach out to you and say and ask you the questions of, yo, how did you quit that 9 to 5, or how did you continue to keep working for yourself and all that? A lot of them are in the artistic work, where they're doing photography or doing videography or doing stuff like that. Well, being an entrepreneur, you can run your own taxi business and you're an entrepreneur, but that's not, and running like you said, being your own, like it seems like now it's the trend or the goal to be an entrepreneur. But you might look at somebody who runs their own taxi business and that's not sexy. But yet that is, if you're running your own successful taxi business, that's a feat.
Man says I own my taxi business.
You're
like, oh, you're like, I own my taxi business.
I have drivers on the road driving people around. They're giving money back to me.
Yeah.
Yo, if you're just investing in homes and investing in real estate, that's entrepreneurship. You can work a full-time 40-hour week job and then utilize what you get at work. So I'm at work 40 to 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
They're not over my shoulder making sure I'm doing exactly what I want to do. If I want to take use your job that you have to work on what you want to do outside of work. So I use my job if I'm like right now I'm focused on real estate because I'm getting enough wealth to be like, all right, where do I want to invest this now?
Yeah.
I'm using the resources I have and the people around me who've done this, they bought homes, they have wealth, they've been down this path. All right, let me get some information from them. Let me use the computer, the 2 screens that I have that I can buy for myself. Let me use the unlimited internet. Let me use the phone that's right there on my desk.
Use
Let me use that printer that I can print off whatever I want. Like, yo, if you can do anything from that 40-hour week for that 9 to 5, but you got to be able to use it. Like Zamora said, you got to want it, right? A lot of people don't really want to be the entrepreneur.
There was something Gary Vee said that I feel like so many people like slept on, and he was basically saying, like what you said is 100% accurate. And I think the flip side to it, he said, if you have something you want to work towards, like get a job that like pays you the most, but doesn't require you to work so hard that it like interferes with what you're doing. So essentially what he's saying is like, if you have to work as a bartender because you could potentially make, you know, $1,000 a week, but you're only doing that work at night, fucking do that, right? Don't work a 9 to 5 where you're on call all the time, even after you're done work, because then there's no way that you're gonna be able to work on your shit, right?
Exactly.
It's not realistic. So both his point and your point that's like very critical that I don't think a lot of people think about.
Right. I think a lot of, I don't know, I'm speaking for everybody, I don't want to, but don't think that the entrepreneur life is easy whatsoever.
It's not.
And no matter what, whether it's a craft or a creative ability you have, to hone that is like Kobe Bryant trying to hone his basketball skills. Like that takes work to hone it and be great at it, so that people want to pay you to do that for them.
Right.
And whether that's, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to do people's taxes, and you want to start your own business of doing people's taxes. Somebody's got to be able to trust you that you know everything from front to back about where they can find how to generate the most wealth when they file their income taxes with you. Like you gotta put in work to be your own boss, because it's a lot easier to just go get a job and clock in and out.
I was talking to my sister last week. She's in first university and she's going through some stuff right now. She's struggling with school and whatnot and just her emotions and all that. And she's taking film, right? And I basically told her, I basically raised my siblings because their dad's doing what he's doing, whatever. So I've been that figure for them, and she doesn't have these conversations. So it's only because I asked them like, "Yo, how's school?" That she's like, "Not good." You know what I mean? Like shit like that. Like she wouldn't have said anything. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of black kids
who don't say
who just don't, unless you ask them, they just don't say shit. And it's like when you ask, you're like, holy shit, like if I hadn't asked you, like you would just
internalize,
you would just kept all that. She broke down all that, but I was just like, what's going on? And she's like, well, I went to school for film, but like you have to take this class, I have to take that class, I don't really care about it. And I'm just like, yo, like this is life, eh? Because what people don't understand is that you're gonna have to do shit you don't like for a very long time to start before you can finally be able to do something that you want to do. Like it's not even negotiable.
Right.
She's like, yeah, but I only care about this. It's like, yeah, but you're gonna have to learn about math.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, but how will math apply to? I'm like, listen, what you don't understand is that university's building you for you to be able to manage multiple things at one time. Be able to manage your time, be able to manage your mindset, how you think, and process things and problem solve, relationships. Like, yeah, you like film or you like art or whatever you're in, you like that, but you have to do every other thing, because especially if you want to be an entrepreneur, what people don't understand is like, to be an entrepreneur, you're not just doing what you like. Like, bro, I went to school for business management. I'm a photographer now, but I start to make spreadsheets. I do all I have to incorporate all my stuff. I'm not just I don't just point and shoot and go home. Like
exactly. If you want to hire people, you gotta learn to interact with other people.
How can I hire someone to do something for me if I don't know how to do it?
Yeah.
Like I don't have to be an expert at it.
Right.
But I never want to ask someone to do something for me and be like, oh, I don't know. Like I just shoot. So can you just put these numbers in? Like no. Like I know how to put my numbers together. You do it much better.
Yeah, you're the expert.
I'm still gonna know what the fuck you're doing.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Being a business person, not just like, oh, I shoot for myself and I just do what I want and travel. It's like, no, you need to learn every aspect, how to communicate, how to send emails, how to budget, how to do all these things. So like, yeah, you're there for one thing. Yeah, you go to work and this is your one job, sure, your day job. But you have to do things you want to do on the side because you may not like your day job, but it helps you.
Yep.
And you don't realize it until you actually pursue what you're doing. Exactly. So you're like, oh shit, all that stuff I learned at that day job I hated, I now have to do for myself.
I'm using those skills.
Yeah.
I'm using those 100%.
Like the whole, I think we live in a time too where instant gratification is a really big thing for people.
Yep.
Like I know that I have a certain level of impatience with certain things, but it's one of those things where it will kill a lot of things before it even gets off the ground because it's not happening at the rate that you want it to or how quickly. But you have to honestly eat shit for a while before you get what's yours, right? I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been working at jobs where I'm just like, I fucking do not want to be here, or I know this is not getting me somewhere. Yeah. And then years down the road, I'm referencing shit that I learned in that job. Right. So everything should be a stepping stone. But in regards to the question, I think Instagram definitely does lie to a lot of people. But I also think
the come up is so fast on Instagram.
But I also think that a lot of people are just willfully ignorant when they're looking at this stuff, right? Because even though, like you said, everyone puts out their highlights. Like I recognize people are putting out their highlights, though. I think if you're sensible, you know that people are putting out their highlights. So I think people are like literally choosing to believe that, oh, this is how it is. It's like, no, bro, like. This person put out a highlight tape, but there was a bunch of shit.
He missed layups. He's been missing layups.
When I watched John Wall's hoop tape from high school, trust me, I know this man missed a couple of them shots that didn't make the tape. Yeah. Right? That's what happens. That's what happens in life. So that's what you have to honestly remember. It's just weird when I have conversations with people I know, like my age or younger or older, who are saying, man, like I wish I could do what you do, blah, blah. Part of it, I understand why they're saying it. And part of it, I'm like, I don't know if you really wish that. Right. I think you like the idea of it, but I don't think you truthfully knows like what came with this, bro.
No idea.
I don't think they do because this is fucked. Like, it's fucked. It's like
the goods are good.
Yes,
I'm not gonna lie.
The goods are blessed, but the bads is like you are okay. On average, I think I don't want to say the majority, but I think a lot of Canadians are working paycheck to paycheck, right? If they just fucking lost their job tomorrow, they'd be in a pretty hard spot. Like the poverty line is like not that far behind them. So working in entrepreneurship, the best way I could honestly describe it is, like Ryan said, when the goods are good, it's blessed. Right. But I operate as if there are a pack of tigers like chasing me, and if I slip, I am fucked. Yeah. Right? Because that's the truth. Like I don't have...
You have to stay on high.
I don't have a guaranteed, $1,500 coming in every 2 weeks. Right. I don't have that. Right? I have to generate that somehow through like... So the one thing about entrepreneurship or like freelancing I like is it's forced me to put myself in positions where I can get multiple sources of income. Right. Right? Which I do like. Right? But like Ryan said, you have to operate at this level where you're like, okay, if I don't do this week, I know that I cannot pay for this, right? My insurance, I need to pay for this, right? Like I can't pay for that if I don't do X, Y, and Z. Right. And that's the crazy thing. You know that. I knew when I was working a 9 to 5 that if I said I am not going to work today because I'm sick, that check was still coming. That check doesn't come if I call in sick. Yeah. I have to work when I'm sick, bro. Remember that whole cheek situation I was going through? Fam, Ryan came over on was it Friday? The man came over on a Friday after I had the surgery. I don't know if I had the surgery or they drained it. I was washed, bro. I was on 3 different antibiotics.
When I came over, he was sleeping. He had to wake up. He's like, I'm good. Bro, like
Ryan was like, yo, it's time to work. I'm like, let's go. We came to this office and we worked for what, like 12 hours?
You can't afford to not. You can't
afford to not work. You have to do your work. Right? And that's the crazy thing about entrepreneurship. People will get they'll get upset at the hours you work because there'll be days where you don't work like a traditional person would. You might work like 2 hours a day and your money is made for that week, right? And then you'll have days where you literally work a full-time week in 2 days, bro. Right. and you're beat after that. You're beat. You don't have nothing to do with no one. And they're like, it's only Wednesday. It's like, it's my Thursday right now.
I'm exhausted.
There's no clocking out. There's no, hey, it's 5, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's gone.
It's frustrating. I remember Josh said some shit. Because I referenced Josh a lot. Because he said the other day, like, he's been filming. He's been doing client work, I think, since 2012. But he's been doing video work since 2009, right? And he was talking about like trying to create this platform for people like me and Ryan, like freelancers, to get paid from companies properly and efficiently.
Right.
And, you know, he was just talking about like the glamour of people who get into this industry, how people end up having to pay a lot more money because they go to amateurs before they go to someone like Ryan. And, you know, it's just like, this shit is really not for everyone. Like, it's really not. And you have to tell people that. It might scare some people away, and scaring them away might be the best thing for them.
Yeah, it's true.
Because for all I know, like, you may be better off and happier working for fucking Shopify or some shit.
Right.
That may be the best thing for you, not this fucking wanting to start your own cupcake store or some bullshit like that, right? That really might be the best thing for you. And you'll thank me for it when you realize, like, true.
You want to know something crazy? Which I just listened to as you're saying that. This whole, like we're talking about the trend thing.
Yeah.
Like, people are popping up these ideas like cupcake store, for example, right? Or, you know, the eyelash, like anything, right? Why do you want your own business? Yeah. I feel like that is the biggest question that people need to ask themselves. Because I feel like a lot of the answers for these, if they're truthfully answering, like not the answer they think people want to hear, if they're truthfully answering, they want their own business so people can say, yo, you have your own business. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Bro, like a lot of people's reasons to be like, I have my own this. Yeah. And you're like, yo, sick. Like, because, go ahead.
I was going to say, or another reason to say, oh, I don't like working for people. But what do you do? Like,
you're still working
you're
for
providing
someone.
a service for somebody, right?
So because here's the thing, like,
no, that's 100% valid.
Because I remember, that's so true. When I was going through this whole phase of switching from 9 to 5 to doing what I'm doing now, part of the reason I did it is because like it was like a personal thing with me. Like I looked at myself and I said, I'm not supposed to be doing this. Like it was some innate feeling inside of me where I said, I can do that. I can work in those environments. I could go back tomorrow and do it if the check was nice. But it's like, that is not who I'm supposed to be. Like I just can't do this. For a lot of people, like you said, it's this clout thing. They want to do it because they want to get like some level of prestige. If that's the reason you want to do it, don't fucking do it.
Straight up.
Because it's really hard, bro. It's really fucking hard.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a big portion of people are starting these businesses up just to say I'm a business owner. Yeah. Like just to say that. Yeah. Like doesn't have to be profitable. Like, doesn't have to be doing well.
Like are you?
But just so they can say I have my own business.
Just so I can look good. Just so you can appear to look good.
For what?
Right.
Like you're killing yourself. You're struggling. Your business is not working. Yeah. You're not innovative. You're not doing anything new. No one's really coming to you, but you're doing it to prove to what? Like there's nothing wrong with working for somebody. Yeah. Especially if what you'd like to do or what you want to do or what you prefer doing is not sustainable yet. Yeah. But it's not to say if I'm working for someone, I'm just not going to do it, or to say I'm going to quit and just go full into this blind. Like there is a balance, and the whole point of, like, even what I was working my full-time job in shooting. Like the whole point of keeping the job while you're doing your talent is to see if it's sustainable. Right. That's the point. Like that is the point. I quit because I'm like, I can do this. Yeah. Like now I'm aware. It wasn't just like I work for myself. I work for the man. Like no, I was sucking it up, waking up at 7, going to work, coming home at 5, shooting till 12 a.m., waking up at 7. Like I was burning myself. But I'm like, I need to know for a fact
that I can do
this. Yeah.
So prime example of what you just said is like most people who are working 9 to 5 that have like something that they want to do that relates nothing to what they do, it's like, yo, go get a fucking job in that industry.
True.
You know what I mean? Okay, you wanna have your own yoga studio, whatever. Like work part time, like go work part time there or something like that, so that you know what it's like. Because the best thing that you could do, in all honesty, if like you're doing, like you said, you're doing stuff on the side of real estate or whatever, it's like use the people that are around you to just benefit you more.
Steal their ideas.
Right?
Straight up.
I don't mean steal and use it. I mean like literally steal the knowledge. Like
invest in ways to make yourself better. Like if you learn a certain way, if you learn by taking a course, invest in that course to help you figure it out.
But see, this is why was it you I was talking to about Andrew Yang, the Asian dude?
Possibly. What were
the politician who's going to be running for president in the States.
Oh yeah. Last
right?
year.
And like there's this Asian dude going to be running for president, right? And he basically wants to propose universal basic income in the States, which some other countries actually do this and it works.
There's a standard amount everyone makes?
There's a standard amount that the government gives to people who are over a certain age and are working a month. Okay. It's like $1,000.
An allowance?
You just get $1,000, right?
Okay.
And basically he actually laid out where this money would come from, how he would like destabilize like the school debt situation because the government like was in collusion with them. But he was basically saying like, look, a lot of rich people don't understand that if you give the average person $1,000 a month, that changes their life. Mm-hmm. It really does.
It does nothing to you.
It does nothing to them, but those rich people still get $1,000 a month, just like everyone else. But for people like
the rich will still get $1,000 too?
Everyone, because that's how it works. It's universal, right? So if you're over a certain age,
right,
and you're working, everyone gets the exact same amount. Everyone gets $1,000, so it's fair. Okay. But the reason you do that, like you can't say, okay, you're rich, you only get $200.
Right.
It's just universal, right? Like healthcare. If
you make your $1,000, okay, cool.
You make your $1,000, you do whatever you want with it. The only way it can work, he said, is if the government doesn't step in and say, here's your $1,000, but you can only spend it on this. You need to get this $1,000 and let people do whatever they want. And the reason he said that's important is because, you give someone like us $1,000 a month. If you gave me $1,000, I already know in my head, okay, I don't need to work for my insurance or my fucking groceries. Or that shit's already covered. So now what that does to people, it allows them to put the money that they are working with
towards something
into something else, right? So what you'll see, and that's how this relates to what we're talking about, is when you ask, like, what do you actually want to become an entrepreneur for, right? Because if you get $1,000 a month and you really want to be an entrepreneur, now you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I can start saving some of this money to put aside to work towards something that I actually want to do instead of like going to the bank right away. And here's the thing, the bank is more likely to give these people loans on shit because they know these people all have money coming in every month, right? So the money just goes right back into the economy. So the reason I mentioned the cupcake story, because he said like, imagine you live in some fucking small town in Michigan and you want to start a cupcake store. If you don't get that money per month, you think that's a stupid idea to start a cupcake store. Because you're like, I don't have the money for this. Like, there's no way I'm going to set it up. But now that you do, you're more likely to see younger people start investing money into things that they truthfully, like, really want to do. Where some people are like,
they have that security blanket.
There's so many ideas that are just shot down because they can't afford it.
Whereas there are people, like you said, who are like, I want to do this business because it's going to make me look a certain way. Not because they truthfully, in their heart of hearts, really want to do it.
Right.
So it's an interesting concept, but I think it relates to like what we're talking about because it's true. Like there are a lot of people who say they want to do this shit and they only really want to do it for the clout, for the optics, like how it looks. Where I'm telling you, like I guarantee even you, like I know I thought about it. There are times where I said to myself, all right, like if I can get to this dollar amount, I know that I can then start this, which is going to lead down here. Right. At no point in my thought process have I ever thought, so people will look at me this way. No. That doesn't even cross my mind. It's just, I need this dollar amount so I can execute this to get to this.
It's all personal.
It's all personal, right? So
that's literally what it has to be. If you're considering, if it's on your mind to start your own business and work for yourself, it has to be a personal thing.
Yeah.
It can't be for anybody else. Like, end of the day, that's all it is.
because you gotta get up and do this shit.
Yeah.
For real. Like,
Seriously,
Honestly.
It's
you
for
gotta
real.
get up and do this shit, man.
You gotta be a student of life always, because even if you're the expert in it, you gotta constantly get up and learn how to get better at it to separate yourself from everybody else who's
fighting to get to where you are right now.
Yeah.
It's the game.
It's the truth, man. I'm telling you, there's nothing crazier than actually, yeah, man. Like, it's just weird. Having worked a 9 to 5, it's the only job sector in the world where, you know, like when you get a salary, when you're like, okay, I'm getting this money like every 2 weeks, no matter what.
Yeah.
I think the entire time I
Whether
worked a
I
9 to
work
5,
harder or work less.
I think the entire time I worked a 9 to 5, it never once crossed my mind where I was like, fuck, I might not get this paycheck this week. Like,
You're not thinking about
I
that.
miss X amount of days at work. I'm not getting it. It always came. It always came. So the day you become an entrepreneur, that first 2 weeks, I think that's, you know, you said the first couple people die in their own business, like in the first 3 years or whatever. I think it's that first month that kills a lot of freelancers.
Like, this is for real.
where's the money at?
Because they instinctively check it. They're like, oh, word.
It's still empty.
It's Friday. Where's that?
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Where's that
Where's
auto
that direct
deposit?
deposit? Oh,
It's
shit.
oh yeah, it's
yeah.
not.
Yeah. It'd be a cold morning for a lot of people when they wake up that Friday.
No snuggie.
Man. Well, yeah. This is dope. This is definitely another great conversation to kill our first conversation 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This is more advanced, more educated. We're older now. We're smarter. We've done a lot more. All of our lives are very different now than they were 2 years ago.
Yeah.
which is crazy. But yeah, it was great to have you, Chris. Always, of course.
Most definitely.
Hope you guys took something from this. I'm sure there's something in here that, you know, triggered some type of either spark or readjustment for you guys. You know, like we said before, like the WNTT Talk podcast started off talking relationships. We did talk about it a bit, which we always do, but the whole, you know, future and purpose of this platform now is really to talk. We need to talk about these things that a lot of people don't talk about. A lot of people, you know, hide or fluff or, you know, try and manipulate to seem better than they are. And honestly, the harsh truth is really the best type of advice, because the world doesn't give a shit about you, man. Like, the world doesn't give a shit. Like, if someone keeps you in the dark, once the light hits you, it'll crush you if you're not used to that. So I think these conversations are important, so you guys know if you guys are thinking about doing stuff or thinking about being an entrepreneur, like the harsh realities are like, this is hard shit, and it takes dedication, consistency, and a good circle around you, because this I wouldn't be where I am right now completely solo. Like, honestly, like, my girl supports me, my friends support me, my parents are behind me. Like, it wasn't just like I'm quitting and I'm locking myself in the box and I'm gonna get here, you know? Like, even my clients, like the clients I work with, they build my business. So it's like, it's more than just, you know, doing what you're doing for that one person, because the lasting experiences that you build with the clients is what grows you. Because those people telling people, that is what creates longevity. But to be able to do that, you have to understand how to do all the things around being an entrepreneur and not just your skill. So that's my take on it. It's more if you have anything to close, but
You killed everything. That's right.
All right. I'm heading to Tampa tomorrow, so fuck y'all. After that speech, I'm heading to Tampa.
Life might not be for you. I'm headed to Tampa tomorrow. Peace. That's funny.
Yeah, so I'm leaving this cold weather for a little bit, but I'll have fun. That's for sure. Hopefully there's no snowstorm while I'm gone. But other than that, guys, thank you guys for stopping by an episode when we talk. I'm MR.KOA alongside
Top Boy
and alongside
Chris.
Dope. Thank you for listening. Hello?
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk. We need to talk.